Same as round robin.
Yeah, apparently undefeated teams automatically get the hammer.
So we draw for it.
Draw?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we different pools. We both have one loss. Right? So
Okay.
whatever that means, but.
Who
Yeah,
won?
we ended up having 22 teams here this weekend, so uneven pools decided that undefeated teams would get the advantage in the playoffs with hammer for practice, and all the other teams will be doing a LSD for hammer.
Close. I won't have to walk very far for these two. What's he want, the out? Or you guys pick. What do you guys want? We want that. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, we'll take the out.
Good news, I don't think Ty cares.
The oldest trick of the book.
Yeah.
Good morning, everybody. We're here at the St. Paul Curling Club doing the, I don't know what they call it. It's not the quarterfinals. It's the
Quarterfinals for the men.
Oh, quarterfinals for the men. There's 8 teams out here.
We on yet?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
We're live?
Yeah.
All right.
It's actually
Maureen,
just
I'll try
memorized.
to keep it clean.
All right,
Well,
I
that's
will do the same.
I'm joined by Maureen Stolt. Steinley, I heard, was your original name. Steinley.
Yes.
Rockley, which is very appropriate for curling. Yeah, we're digging deep here. We should have some really good curling this morning, and we have some really interesting people mic'd up. So we're Kiovula from Thunder Bay versus Bill Stopera, who's being skipped by Tyler George. We're doing LSD right now to figure out
Tyler's birthday,
who gets the hammer. There was some discussion that you all missed. There was discussion about undefeated teams don't get the hammer, so undefeated teams came over and gave Bill Stopera that advice.
Yeah, that's pretty rough.
It seemed a little bit condescending, sort of. Not really. But to go around the horn on sheet 2, we have Leichter versus Murray. Sheet 3, Clark versus Brown. Brown got in for the playoff last night against Andrew Stopera. I think ended at
we got to give him a little more, huh?
I don't know, 12 or something. Sheet 5 is Kiovula Stopera, and sheet 6 is McCormick versus Burr. McCormick had a very nice bye in the sense that he qualified and then could be gone all afternoon yesterday.
Yeah, with having 5 teams in a pool, each team gets a bye, so they ended up with 2 games Friday and 2 games Saturday.
So is that just it's not like any kind of seeding or anything, it just was lucky that they... I mean, that might be bad too, that might be cold.
Yep, we seeded the teams to figure out what the pools were, and then just kind of put them
I threw it hard.
like they weren't necessarily in order, but tried to adjust for some requests as some teams were flying in and things like that. So just kind of the way it worked out for them.
It must be hard to seed teams when they have people substituting in.
Yeah, some teams brought in some subs that we weren't aware of, but pools seem to work out pretty well here. So.
Yep.
13-6.
There was somebody on the live stream said, so we're going to have teams that are 3 and 2 that are going to make the playoff, and there were 3 teams that were 4 and 1 that didn't.
Yeah, unfortunately with uneven pools, we can't do cross pool to qualify teams. It was straight 2 teams out of each pool. So at 2 losses, it went to last shot draw to see which teams got in the playoffs, if there was tiebreakers after head-to-head comparison. And then with 1 loss, you cannot be eliminated from the event on LSD, so we played that game out.
I hate Dale.
It was pretty interesting. It came down to the last shot to figure out who made it and who didn't. On Burr's side, I guess that's the.
Yeah, Pool D was pretty interesting. There was a lot of people watching a Leclerc-Rittener game because it came down between Fenson and Burr, who would get in the playoffs based on the last shot.
Yeah, and it wasn't Leclerc. I thought it was Horseman. No.
Oh, Sobering. Sorry, it was not Leclerc.
Yeah.
Sobering. Yes, my apologies.
What was funny is I don't know how you guys do all this advanced math to figure all that out, but I was working hard up here trying to make it sound like I knew what I was talking about.
I don't think we
and
need that
I had it all figured out in retrospect. If Rittenauer would have lost, Fenson would have been in. because it would have been a two-way tie between Burr and Fenson. But by winning, he forced a three-way tie, and they were all they'd all beat each other. And then so Burr had already figured that out, so they were all gathered up there. But I did probably the stupidest thing. It was like the last shot I'd already written down it was a win or a loss.
Line's good.
And so in my mind, all the logic that I had figured out, I had just blown away. And yeah, so then I was like, how did I get all this wrong?
Don't worry about it, boys. Don't worry.
All right, Roonan just joined us.
Oh, just another tap-in for you.
Whoops. Tried to take off a couple feet, but
So bad.
took off about 20.
Fucking terrible. You're going to house. You're going in the house. Are we going still? Yeah.
Tyler George has lost his voice. He partied a little bit too hard for his 35th birthday. Although I don't know.
I think he hasn't skipped for a little while, and those skips use their voice a lot. So I think it was just a little bit out of shape. And
you think that's all?
He's used to Schuster yelling at him. So being back in the house this weekend, helping Bill Stopera's team out,
A little bit.
Learning, being reminded how cold it is when you're skipping and not sweeping. So. Lots of chatter between the team. These teams have probably played each other quite a bit here at this event. So looking forward to a really great game here on Sheet 5 today.
Bill mentioned that this is his only event this year. Last year, this was also his only event, so we're lucky to have him.
Yeah.
He missed. He threw a 2-card.
It's great to see teams across the United States and some from Canada come down. So great support from coast to coast here.
So we probably have the team names and the player names incorrect in that curling zone for Kiovula's team. So the little players that are up on the screen are probably going to be wrong, just judging by the last name on the jersey there. I know that Tyler George is subbing in as skip for Bill Stopera, and Mark Lazar is doing lead, and Dean Gemmel's doing second.
Yeah. Until we get going.
I don't feel really confident about the players on Kiovula's squad. I've got it on.
Should be pretty
According
close.
to this, lead is Mark Adams, second is Jordan Potts, third is Brennan Wark, and fourth is Colin Kiovula. But
yeah, it doesn't. Surprise.
the lead who threw his rock out had a different name on his jerseys. You'll probably recognize him, Maureen.
Wow.
Actually, not
Real tight.
I'm going to see, just want to talk to Art here for a second.
50.
Art, you want to sit over here? No, these guys aren't doing anything other than just sitting here.
Line's good.
Yeah, you guys can switch on, switch it up.
A little bit of room.
His kid's down there, talking, looking for the big money, and he needs it.
Line's good. Wait on.
He needs some help. Yeah.
Nice and tight, boys.
Oh,
Keep her going. Keep her going.
oh, I thought that I muted myself. I muted Maureen. So you get to hear me help Richie's dad get a prime spot with security and everything.
I like that better. Right on our nose. I don't think we can hurt it. No.
So Briand is the last name of the lead. Unless he's wearing someone else's jersey, and then all bets are off.
Right. Do we have anybody from Thunder Bay watching this morning that could help us out there?
I don't know. I'll have to get to that point. This is always a little ramp-up time for me when I get here. Got to get all the apps loaded, heads-up display, and then I rely on my co-host to actually talk about curling and entertain everybody.
I'm working on my coffee right now this morning, so
Yeah,
give me at least
I left
the
my
second end,
thermos
and then
here,
we'll be good
so
to go.
Usually the first end isn't that exciting
Of course,
anyways.
that would be our spot. Line's good. Line's good. Tight.
Yeah, that seemed like a really...
Yep. Hard. Hard.
I have a soft spot for Thunder Bay, so...
Weight came off too, eh?
Wow.
Okay.
Who's
Not
the
really
curler?
shot
Well,
making
he's
ice
not
right
from
now,
Thunder
huh?
Bay, I don't think. Who's the guy that wears the black and orange checkered flannel from Thunder Bay. He's actually around Fort Francis, is where he grew up, but he always says he curls out of Thunder Bay.
He did the from St. Paul or here this weekend?
So
no, he did the Lupus Spiel a couple years ago. I think he's been here last year. I think he was here. Trevor.
Oh, Trevor Bono. Yes, yes. Sorry, I checked. He's actually at Worlds right now, competing in Switzerland for the Mixed World Championship.
I don't know why you would choose that over this.
Right? I think they started off pretty good so far, and looks like he's having a lot of fun.
Total guess.
So which players are mic'd, Rebecca wants to know.
We have Bill Stopera mic'd, and then Kiovula, the skip of the team.
Yeah, I think it's Kiovula.
Line's good.
Yep.
Wow, Rebecca Clark apparently messaged with Luke Violet last night at like 1 in the morning. Could get arrested for that, I think.
Good.
But
it was a late night.
Their team has no intimidation playing their teams in the Olympic trials. Luke plays against Brady at home all the time. You know, actually, it is interesting. I went down after the tiebreaker and collected the mics, and those guys are all real loose and didn't seem to be that upset. Like it wasn't a big deal. It just, you know, this happens, which I think you probably have to be to move on in these kind of competitions. If you get too bummed out, you're probably going to affect how you play.
You can't talk.
The next deal.
They had a really solid weekend, and finishing the round robin 3-1 and losing the tiebreaker to Brown. It was a pretty good game last night. Getting off the ice at 12:30. It was a late night for them, but I think a lot of these players that are playing on the tour are used to some late draws and quick turnaround for the next morning.
Is it me?
Dean Gemmel last night told me that he actually no longer can brush like a badass. He can only teach.
Jesus.
Well,
nice through the port.
That's good.
Pops that out.
Great teacher for that, and sometimes that's what happens, right?
Yep.
Teachers
straight and try it out.
Know what to do, and I don't know if he's given himself enough credit on that, but maybe I'll pay more attention to his sweep in here.
Yeah. Well, it's early. We can be critical. I'm sure Bill will be critical on the mic. Should get my stopwatch out.
You are really prepared here, Chris. You've done this a couple times.
Line's good.
Well, yeah, I might have the all the equipment and everything, but I don't know if I know what I'm doing.
Yep. Hard. Jeez.
Wow. So that was.
But the stopwatch thing up here is, I kind of drew inspiration to how we do this, seeing all the ice makers up here over the years, sitting here with stopwatches, having a cup of coffee or a beer or whatever, just watching the ice. And I thought, oh, that's how you should commentate. So that's why we're kind of set up like this.
Great idea.
We're basically ice makers.
Exactly.
Except we don't have to do the work.
One step away, right.
Careful with it.
Okay.
Oh. Well, that's dirty. Sorry, boys. Dirty, a little dirty. That's all right. Better to be dirty than good.
Yeah, so we got a fortunate tick over there.
I don't mind this.
Yep, Kiovula's team's been a little bit lighter and catching the curl, and Bill just found that right weight to get the kiss and roll under cover.
I'm sure he planned that.
That's all skill.
Yeah.
Bill didn't think so, but.
When you do, when you've played as long as he has.
Close.
What's that?
Yep. Hard.
Oh, and there's a great shot.
Yeah. Yeah,
Really
moves the red rock and rolls under a little bit of cover. opens it up.
Yeah, Pins made a move really early compared to yours. Like I'd say 15 feet before yours.
Might get a good time here on the in-turn draw.
Maybe
that's what's going on.
I still think the same. Didn't you throw one here, Mark?
I'm really working on the in-turn, out-turn thing.
Yeah, your first one.
Because I don't communicate that way. But
really
all the curlers at this level and all the commentators all in. Oh, on the in-turn, they throw.
And then you get that lefty every once in a while, so you have to go back to clockwise, counterclockwise.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that light.
Yeah.
Easy, boys. Whoa!
I was talking. I didn't get a good time. Looks heavy, though.
Yeah, we'll see. It's one of the first rocks down this path here, so it might check up for him.
Oh, Ty. Ah.
Yeah.
Pretty good guess for that first rock down that side of the game.
Similar. Pretty close. They got a good feel too.
So you actually, is it true that Tyler has lost his voice because of screaming in the house?
Okay, right to it.
No, I think that's it. And
heavier.
Kind of from experience and knowing when you play a lot of games and you're trying to yell over multiple sheets going on and teams getting excited.
Okay.
Skip's voice can get pretty raw in the first few events of the season.
God dang it. Yeah, about 6 inches.
This one seems lighter to me, but
it's got to be a little heavy.
But Bill disagrees.
They're keeping a close eye on it.
Line's getting better. Line's getting better. Keep her going. Freeze it. Freeze it. Hard, boys.
Well, apparently that would be perfect for timing, because you have to get hog line to the button, and that's the time the ice makers want. So I did that. I don't think I did it right, because that was 23.9.
Yeah.
Which I had totally backwards. So Scott Belvich was teaching me how to do that, and he was saying 25-second ice is what you want, and then
it's definitely
so then it went from 25x to 24, and I was like, oh, it slows down, and he's like, no, that meant it sped up. It's the backwards.
Right? Yeah. You gotta.
I think if
sometimes get caught on that.
Short, that we have enough on that too.
This ice has started out.
Get by that guard.
Kind of slow this weekend,
and
then
tight,
teams have broken it down.
It's going to move at the end, right?
3.9 sounded pretty good for the first end.
Even tap weight just through weight or something. Yeah, I forget. I mean, you probably have very, very little from the hack, but.
So Tyler is down in his Marco hack.
Line's good. Well, don't really want to be too deep, guys. Where is it? Yep. A little bit deep. All right.
Very nice draw. Well, that was 23-2, so
it's going to be tough to tap that. It's going this way.
Not bad.
I mean, even if we do.
Love the sound of that Canadian accent.
Yeah.
And if we end up going a bit too far with the roll, you could probably.
Yeah, these teams decided to put a lot of rocks in play this first end, so pretty exciting to watch.
Do you think they decided to do that? Well, they did get a lot of guards up.
They got a few guards, and it was kind of dictated early for them.
I mean, the other option is up here.
Yeah, so when they tried to break apart, Kiovula broke those apart, and his rolled in. Well, whatever.
It was kind of game on.
I'm glad, because it makes it more entertaining.
Exactly.
I mean, you just hate to tap and leave them a 3, right? What I'm worried is this, and then like that almost, just up front. Okay, Let's go there.
So it looks like
So just
Lecter grabbed
maybe
one
half
against
a rock
Murray
off
in the
and try and
first
cut that
end.
off a little bit, eh? So just a hair more than I had.
I think
Here-ish.
we go with,
Clark and Brown are still wrapping up the first end here.
They could just
and
take that draw away.
You got Byrne McCormick flying through the first end, and
might get the voice back.
2 for
Well, yeah, that's what
McCormick.
we're saying. We can tap it, but it's not a really great angle, and I think it's just going to end up, like we roll off any, it might be a 3.
So much for our bad shots against horsemen.
So it's pretty much there on my own, eh?
That game was something else.
Okay, tight guard.
It was great. Oh, it was like Twilight Zone.
Whoa, then. Whoa, whoa. Yeah,
Well, you just-
cut as much as you can anyways, eh?
So
think you can.
Puebla put a little
think
bit of
you
a
can
cap
over
up there.
Parts, so just keep it as wide as
Close.
Push them into a new path.
Yeah.
So are they gonna? You thinking you're gonna try
I
to
think
draw
that's the
in
plan.
again?
I mean, like I said, we could tap that.
Seems
but-
crazy to me.
see, they might have room there to get full 4 and maybe sneak in,
I had
grab a little
0
piece of the
at
button
that
there.
2 stone too.
Oh, yeah?
None. It was fully buried plus a bit.
Sorry. Too good of a
Run around. I haven't been able to
Yeah, way to go.
see teams play a lot of shots. You're trying to watch all the games, but Tyler's had a great LSD here. At 1.5 total inches for all of his games, throwing out the worst one. So
Holy moly!
pretty confident here you might be making this draw here.
Yeah, the only thing I could see is getting caught up in the something up front.
Yeah, I know. Mark!
Yeah, it looks like it's running, and he might be trying to
Whoa.
get
Watch
a
this
little
one.
redirect
Yeah.
here.
Very nice,
No.
but
Not quite, but
that was a lot of work for that. But it was a very
Okay,
nice shot.
good end.
yep.
So in that case, you think that probably was intentional?
Yep, kind of read that it was a little heavy and
Yep.
giving it a plan B there.
Oh, so then in that case, it wasn't
Hung out there for
intentional.
about 6 years.
If it was
there.
Plan B, they weren't calling for that. is what
Intentionally
I'm
at the
saying.
end they called
Yeah.
the sweep.
Thought
Right.
you were gonna get the
Yeah.
little chazzle there.
Even a prayer up there.
Yeah.
All right, so
I like when Ty's got to talk to you. You guys all got to run in close and hack.
Just throw it hard and hope it stops.
Was he yelling?
We'll see.
It's heavy right now, I think. Yeah, it's really up to speed. Pretty close.
So my
Pretty good,
ice
Ty.
timing
Sounded
would
better.
kind of echo what they're saying as far as it running being heavy.
Did you get the hog to hog on that one?
No. Well, I did, but then I cleared it.
Good job.
Because I was
So
actually,
often the case. You
I was
stopwatch
looking-
all the time, and
Yeah.
you never look at it, but you're
Yeah.
hitting the
Line's
button.
good.
yeah.
Line's good.
It's that super serious
Better room.
look going.
Better
Staring
room.
his rocks down.
Still a better room.
Well, that would have been a good one to time. We're going to go with
Okay.
23.8 on that, even though I don't have the stopwatch.
Sounds good. Might be almost 24 by now.
Yeah.
I'll give you a 0.2 tolerance.
shot, Mark.
Nice hit and roll.
Yeah, that was a beautiful shot. Lined up underneath that guard, pretty nice. Back behind the tee line.
Beauty.
That was good living coaching the boys on Saturday night, right?
Yeah. I got a headache still.
Rebecca Clark posts that she thinks that some of the media training, they might get voice training too, as far as how to do interviews and things. Some of these coaches, I don't know if she's saying that I should have voice training, but I did take a number of singing lessons for about 5 years.
Ooh, what's your favorite song to
Line's
sing?
good.
I don't really have favorites. I sing actually a lot at home,
Heart.
to the annoyance of everybody around me.
Heart.
Now, do you make up your own songs, or do you actually sing?
I do both. I tend to sing. I like singing
That's fine, Clark.
familiar tunes and then create. Uh-oh.
Oh, Potts seems like he's having something with the shoe.
Ooh.
What the fuck is that? I don't know what he's doing. What happened?
Seemed to have picked up something on his slider that he wants to get cleaned off.
Oh, okay,
Like,
he's
so
all right then.
Oh.
if anybody saw him hopping off the ice, I
Yeah.
don't think there's any
It
injury
looked like
there.
an injury.
He's just got some shoe maintenance to do, it looks like. So.
Yeah, so I like singing, like so the other day I sang, there's that John Denver song, Sunshine on My Shoulder. I woke up Ruby and she had a little stuffed pig and I put the piggy on her shoulder. So I woke her up to the song, Piggy on My Shoulder.
Oh,
Yeah.
and how did your daughter like that?
She thought it was pretty
respond
good.
well?
Yeah, she liked it, yeah.
Oh, that's
I'm good at waking her up.
Oh, on the nose.
That's good. Sometimes you gotta be careful how you wake
Yeah.
people up because they can start as
Oh.
bears. But it sounds like Ruby's a happy camper in the morning.
Well, I mean, most people would be happy if they were woken up by me.
Yeah, true.
He's so angry
true.
right now.
If you see me napping later, though, don't try it.
Yeah. Actually, I had to kind of learn. Aaron has a different style of waking up Ruby, and it was not working out. So we switched morning. I'm a morning duty person. Ruby does not respond well if you yell up the stairs, turn the light on, and say, "Ruby, you got to get up for school." So that doesn't.
It's a little gentler approach seems to.
Yeah.
That's good that you guys figured that out.
Yeah.
No, just grip her probably.
Oh, he's back.
Aaron is usually gentle. It's just like in the morning when you're on a schedule, sometimes it's hard to say like, oh, this particular part you got to be calm.
Yeah. That morning when you got to get up and get going.
Yeah. Well, this is an interesting house.
We're still shot.
Like normal through there? Control?
Yeah, nice little pocket there. Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah, he's got to be careful not to hit it on the Brooklyn side.
It wasn't that heavy. I mean, it was.
Nobody who's in on that humor moved any kind of eyebrow or anything.
I'm trying to make you feel good, all right?
Yep.
Let's see how they.
Hard.
Looked a little from our side. It
Just
looked
pour
like
here.
it was a little outside, but looks like it's coming down straight. It's got to get over.
Okay. Okay.
Help hold it.
All right, so
That's
that
fine.
kind of curled up a little bit.
Yeah,
in
just
there.
a hair.
Yep. Well, that should change the complexion of things here.
Yeah.
Said, was I tight?
Kiovula is sponsored by Fat Panda.
Yeah, it's kind of a fun sponsor, isn't it?
Yeah.
Team
Actually, it looks like the
signs.
bottom sponsor has got a drop shadow on it, so it looks like it's like Velcro to the back. All right, so Dean releases his rock.
Got a little bit of
Slowly
movement
coming
here.
over towards the center line. Gonna tick off his own.
He's just gonna
Get those
clean
out.
that all up there.
Get all that out of there.
Sticks on the side. He looks really happy about that. No, I don't think so. I don't know why, but that's all right.
It's on fire.
I don't think they wanted to
To leave.
hit that red one and then roll too far. It wasn't
Yeah.
too bad to get rid of those in the back 4 foot, but Kiovula, they can utilize this corner guard that's in play.
Go then. Line's pretty good. All the way.
Oh,
Okay, whoa.
this one's short.
So just second in, a little bit newer path here.
That's usual.
Throwing it down,
What are you
and
thinking here?
He just runs that.
the rock dug in.
It's got to be pretty close, right?
Garbage all over, eh?
So on this sheet, I don't know if this morning's going to be the same, but
funny, though. I look back.
it was about 5 feet, and we noticed that people were not giving it. They slowly are moving the broom out when they're doing this
What a gem.
out-turn draw. Is that right? Intern.
Easy if you
Coming
can.
home, the intern draw.
Yeah.
Whoa, if you can.
I have to watch myself throwing it.
Whoa, if you
Yeah,
can.
see how it comes over a lot?
Yep.
But
Bill Stopera's rocks just sliding a little bit too far here.
yeah,
We'll see how many rocks the teams can get piled behind these corner guards.
Oh, lovely shot by Todd.
oh, thanks, Bill. Over on sheet 6, a lovely shot by Todd Burr.
Thought that was light, or you guys thought that was light? Just a
Line's good.
Kind of gave the same ice. Yeah, it's really
Gotta
moving
go
over.
then. Halfway good. Oh. Yep. Okay.
good thing they can't make anything. All right, boys, let's make it better this time.
Bill.
Yeah, so we like I was saying for the international, we piped that audio into the house, and see, I think people would probably. Well, there's nobody down there that are curlers. They're all out on the ice. I mean, I'm sure there are people here that are curlers, but it's not like we have a big crowd.
Yeah, hopefully we'll start seeing a few more people show up. Semifinals are at noon and the finals are at 3.
Yeah, where can you buy tickets?
Admission is free, so stop on by the curling club and you can. Well, this morning we have 4 of the 5 men's Olympic teams, or Olympic trial teams here competing, and Tyler George is on Team Schuster, so we do have representatives from all 5 men's teams that will be in the trials. So great to get a look at them here in October, and almost a month out from the trials.
Oh, that's terrible. Sorry, boys.
So if you can't make the trip to Omaha to watch them and you want to see them in action, swing by the curling club today. Or check your stream. You guys have been doing a great job.
They probably brought, yeah. If they're hearing us, they probably have checked their stream.
Yeah, I guess if they're listening.
Yeah,
Maybe they can share that and tell all their friends.
Tell all your
that,
friends.
Get that viewership up.
Yeah, I wonder how many,
Keep her going.
what the turnover
Line's
of like
good.
how many people are watching. Like I think a lot of families like tune in when their particular team is on.
Yep, sometimes some of the competitors are watching.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry.
Madison Bear was commenting last night on the tiebreaker.
Oh, that's good that some people are up.
Yeah, I was thinking I'd go to bed, but
Full 4?
they don't have to play till noon, right?
Yeah, the women are on
Tyler
at
here?
noon and should be a couple
Is
really
it
good
Slower
games.
out there, or you just not kicking?
Yeah, I think we're gonna. I don't remember which game, but we're having one of the women's
I
games
think
on
we
sheet
have
5.
Farrell and Bear on 5.
Just not
We try to
quite the
put,
kick.
well, we do put a lot of thought into where the teams play. We kind of look to see where teams have played their round robin games and try not to put teams against other teams that have played 1 or 2 games on that same sheet.
Oh,
so both Bear and Farrell have played on sheet 5 recently, and they will be back
And who's
on
going to
there.
be on the? I don't know if it's sheet 6, but
I think the women's final is on 6, so the other semifinal, I can't remember what sheet we have it on, but it will be Schultz versus Rhyme. So
yeah. So Rhyme has been on sheet 5 a lot. Schultz has not been.
Schultz has
Line's
not played
good.
on 5, and Rhyme has played 2 games on 5, so that's why we decided not to put Rhyme versus Schultz on sheet 5. And then the women's final
That Rhyme
will also
team, they're
not be on
feisty
5.
on the mic. Or not necessarily on the mic, but on the miking up process.
Oh,
They got a little intimidated by.
yeah, I think that's great that, Chris, you're able to give players opportunities to wear the
going
mic
around
and get
that.
that experience, because as they play at
Probably throwing
nationals,
that anyways, eh?
they will also
I mean,
be asked to
ideal
wear mics
here,
there,
so
so
that
it's
way he
nice
doesn't
to have that experience prior to going into nationals.
So I mean, that's the
I was also
draw.
thinking last night that
We oughta
a benefit
make
of the,
sure
like
by
sometimes
that,
I wonder
guess,
like
eh?
what's the benefit. I mean, I enjoy doing this, so that's the real benefit for me is that I like doing this. But for the club, it's a good benefit, even though you might not have, say we only have 200 people watching a match, which is pretty good.
How's the weight
It's
out
good though
here?
for
Think it'll be
probably telling the curling
Yeah.
world that we can host
Still
a
good?
really good, you know, they
This
might
is a little
consider
wider than we've been.
putting larger events here if they're like, oh, they do
Yeah.
real quality
It's
web
ideal
stream,
is
you know,
like the
AV
rock right on
presentation
T
to the
line, sort of
world.
just
So-
above.
Yeah, and it's great to let people get a glimpse at our club, and
Yeah.
hopefully they decide to come play in another event here. We have a ton of bonspiels during the year. I haven't quite looked too far ahead on the calendar yet to see if we're hosting any qualifiers or playdowns. As state playdowns become less and less. So
Yeah, I don't think we are. Well, I don't know if it would be on the it wouldn't be on the bonspiel calendar.
It's pretty fresh out there.
I mean, the only thing is yeah.
all right, this
was almost thinking
end's
raise
getting a
my
little
hand.
junked up here for whoever that has hammers. So
Doesn't look easy.
Yeah, I don't know if that. I mean, that.
see what kind of
I'm
happens
assuming
here.
that that isn't on purpose. Like it seems like
Oh.
they're having a little bit of weight issues, but you know,
Yeah, I think they're
There's a
getting
little fresh
caught
out
a
there.
little bit on taking a little bit different paths than Stopera.
Once it
and
grabs that fresh pebble too, it just.
I mean, I'm
flies
going
putting a
with
little bit of
straight
gas.
draw.
I think it's a
Yeah.
little bit heavier, not sure how much,
Yeah.
and it's just kind of checking
Yeah.
up on them.
Middle
So
12?
they're ending up with a lot of rocks
I
short of
think
the house.
if I give that sort of T line on my own.
Bill
and
actually
we're close
offered.
to that
He
red,
said that
that's gonna run
if I donated $1,000 to his junior team, his son's team, that
I'm thinking
I
we're
could
pretty
take
close to getting by, probably
Dean's
pretty
spot
good
on
if I
his
throw
team
it
for
right
this
there.
game.
Oh,
But I told him that my commitment
And he
is
said
It's looking pretty good.
here, and I have to put a new roof on my house that I can't afford.
so how come you're not
And he
out there
blocks
playing?
this
then?
whole side.
Because I couldn't pay $1,000.
We always
Oh,
have
you had
this
to.
out.
Oh, yeah, you had
this
to pay
out.
them. I thought they were going to pay you for playing in the
No one
game.
wants to do that
Yeah,
right now.
yeah. They only want to do that if they didn't want to play in the, later rounds.
How many years have you been curling now, Chris?
This will be my 4th year.
Your 4th
Yeah,
year, and you kind
that's
of got
probably
hooked
the
right
more-
away. Look at you
More likely.
Yeah.
on the stream and giving back a lot to the curling community.
Well, you definitely learn a lot. I was amazed last year doing the streaming how much I learned on strategy and what to do and what not to do.
Is it true that I've heard that one of your favorite events is the Lupus Charity Spiel in May that you've been able to
Okay.
play? in
Yeah,
the
I didn't
past?
play it last year. Yeah,
I
I
gave
played
a
there a
pinch
couple
more
years.
still.
It's a good deal. Todd Bird's wife puts that on. Regan.
Yeah, you missed this year where you could buy a tie after.
Yeah, I
Before
gave
the
a little
sixth
more
end,
ice, but I think
so,
it'll run a little
um,
better as long as I
I don't-
Trying
I-
to raise more
Right
money
weight, eh?
for the Lupus Foundation,
Yeah,
you could
just
pay
barely.
$100 and tie the game for the
Yeah.
last few
Okay,
ends.
T-line.
Kind of
Just
got
drop it
a
on the
little
tee
bit
no matter
exciting.
Hey,
I don't like that part about that.
Bird.
They're like those like they have these
Bird
coupons
with
and
the
things like
slam.
that. And honestly, one of the reasons why, like this year I didn't do it, and I didn't really do a lot of bonspiels last year. I just had a lot going on. But I kind of feel like
on the tee, on the tee.
I didn't feel like it was. You don't get that real curling feeling as much to me in that spiel. It's more about you get to play with some really cool people. I've had amazing skips that I've played
Keep
with in
carving.
the past.
Keep carving.
Kind of fun.
Yeah.
never.
But it's not like you get to it's not the same feeling of like, oh, I'm still in the A event
worries.
to me.
No worries.
Right, that's true. It's kind of all about the Lupus Foundation
Yeah.
and raising as much money. So I think as you have skips, Regan does a great job finding celebrity skips,
So you
people
give
from
them
Canada and the
your-
U.S. to play, and makes them think twice as hard when people can pull out the mulligan card or the prove it card, or sometimes you throw the same
We're
shot
all
3
over that,
times
and I
because
think
they
we
call
made
it
a
on
half
you,
shot. You made your
or a
shot.
place it. So
Well, that was
gets you thinking a little bit
excellent
more
end of
and
curling.
We made a
kind of
half
can
shot.
try to get the team
Cover
more
out
involved in
crash.
what they
Cover
think as
out
well.
crash. Cover out crash.
Hey, you still had to draw against 4. What do you mean? I was
That was the
nice stuff.
that was the source of one of my most told stories on the podcast and on broadcast that I always edit out because I say it the same story every single time because I always say we defeated Johnny Moe in the finals. There was
Tight guard.
That was a
fourth
fun
event.
game, wasn't
Yeah.
that?
I don't really remember it, but I do remember beating him and being able
Hey, they
to
got any
If you're in,
Have
go
those-
top 4.
points.
Go deeper if you're in.
You guys listening to me or no?
Yeah, what was it, Val Sweeting or John Morris? You got to play in the final. They had to
Okay.
win a game to get
Yeah.
to you guys.
Yeah, well, you were our celebrity skip. Yeah.
I was. I had fun.
We had to pay a lot of money to get you as a skip, and I don't think I knew you before that. I knew you.
That's where we first met, I think.
Yeah, Jordan knew you. He has some nickname for you. He keeps on wanting me to call you.
Oh yeah.
Some nickname, and
I have a few of those.
I don't like nicknames personally, and when anybody calls me by a nickname, I just, yeah.
He is one person that gets away with calling me what he calls me, so people will be probably interested in that.
Yeah.
There's no money on the line before.
T-line.
What's wrong? A little stiff?
So unfortunately, I kind of wasn't paying attention to that, but it looks like Kiovula made that great shot for one.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the timing on that shot was about a 23-6.
Easy line.
I have no idea.
You can tell you've done this a lot more than me. This is the first time I have a headset on, and there's.
Is that true?
People, yeah, a couple people look a little worried.
You can go. Go, go, go.
You know,
sometimes I don't have a filter, so I'm working on that right now.
Whoa, whoa.
I think it's interesting. Like a lot of the people that I have on as co-hosts, and when you talk to these curlers, you know, they've obviously curled a lot longer. You know, 10, 20 years. They've come up through juniors.
Is that in?
It's interesting, you know, the stories that people know.
Matters, right?
I found out about your background. I don't know if I was doing research on somebody, and I was listening to maybe it was somebody on a podcast that had mentioned you. I think you've got you know, quite a bit of national and, you know, world like events. You got the tickle. You've done a lot. I think you've got a pretty good resume.
I've kind of been fortunate to be able to play with a lot of great teams out there, and been to World once, and we'll try to get back. So it's kind of fun to watch the women's team and see how that field's developing. I had a chance to play with Patty Link a couple of years. I skipped myself a couple of years. Got to play with Cassie Potter in my first national championship. So learning from the best.
Yeah. It's interesting talking to people here. I'm kind of infatuated with that wall over there of all the names, and as you talk to people, like all these people.
Hey, wait only right now.
Up on the wall. You're up on the wall.
Yeah. St. Paul Curling Club is home to pretty strong field of national curlers. I remember curling in League One night a few years ago and looking out there.
Just at the end, Mark.
9 of the 10 women's teams at nationals were represented on Tuesday night league.
Okay.
So.
Last night, I was talking to Jed afterwards, and I mentioned something about who would he talk to for advice if he had a problem with some sort of delivery thing, the one person, and he said it was Dad, and I'm like, oh, what's your dad's name? And he like looked at me like, what? Miles Brundridge or whatever.
Yeah.
Like as if I, you know, and I knew actually. Teresa had mentioned kind of the heritage, and so that's kind of why I brought it up. But I didn't know, like he's very proud of his father. Yep. Apparently he's a very good curler, and he's on the wall somewhere.
Yeah. The men it's easier to keep track of. The women, when they get married and change their names, got to think a little bit about that. But
well, we should just get revised signs. You know, do the Facebook thing.
Right.
Line's good. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
It's kind of hanging out there.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yeah,
no.
Gonna add a tap here.
Yeah. That's pretty nice.
I hear your stopwatch click, but
that's fine, George.
Backline to hack, so. See, it looks like all pretty close games out there.
Yeah.
Looks like Leichter got 3 in the second to go up 3-1. Clark has not hung the score. And we got a tight game here on sheet 6 for McCormick, 2-2.
I think it's a hair less.
I'd have to look over there. Looks like John Benton's eyeing up a long crosshouse double here. So let's see what Todd's going to do. the teams are all here, kind of have the shot down to tap that one back, making sure they're there. Giving our sweepers a little bit of a break.
I'm all excited about this double, but
back air, back 8.
I guess it came out a little bit.
Looks like that didn't move very much.
Yeah.
Maybe Todd heard us say we were looking over at him.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that affected him.
Yep, yeah then. Hard. Hard. Hard.
Now what?
Just
Yeah.
curled a little bit on them.
Kind of in a corker right now.
Oof. Back 4, is he saying, or back 12?
I was thinking yesterday that it would be kind of cool to do a little audio project of all the teams that come to the Spiel, spend like 5 minutes with them and get their stories about how their team formed, and make that available so people could listen to just a little background.
Yeah, that could be kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Don't they just put their names in the hat and draw them out at the end of the season, see what happens?
Yeah. Well, I was just wondering, like, how does the conversation, you know, like, so Bill, you know, he's like, oh, I'm going to come in to do the St. Paul Cash Spiel. He probably does it because his son's here, and he probably loves St. Paul. I know Dean said he loves this club. He loves this area. But then he's like, oh, well, I could give up Tyler a call. I know they're not playing. I wonder how the communication happens that you line that up. Because he probably has access to, like, 100 people that would be good.
Yeah, well, and Mark's here, right, because he coaches Andrew's team, and 3 of these guys have played together quite a bit. I think it's just, like you said, looking at it, like see who's not playing on tour at other events, because there's usually 3 or 4 or more events going on in a weekend. And Tyler's just a quick drive from Duluth.
Yeah.
And I think Tyler kind of likes this Spiel, too. It used to be the first event of the season, or one of the first U.S. events, and there's some teams that are on the ice for their first event, and other teams that their fourth event of the year.
Not it, obviously, but error on that side, but not that much.
Teresa said that this event used to be over Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it used to be in November for American Thanksgiving.
Back 8.
Oh yeah, that's right.
This weekend's Canadian Thanksgiving.
That's right. So Canadian Thanksgiving is normally my favorite holiday, because I used to go up to my cabin, which is near Fort Francis, and we'd have some friends up there together.
Yeah, so we appreciate the Canadian teams that come down, and with the finals wrapping up at 3 today, they can still get home and have their turkey on Monday, because with the Canadian Thanksgiving, you get Monday off. So it's good to see teams come down here. And then they used to come to Duluth for American Thanksgiving, but this year Duluth is having a mixed doubles event instead of the men's and women's, since it's the weekend after the trials. So they thought it might be a little hard to get teams to play. So
that's pretty smart.
Yeah.
So do you know why this moved? So I think Teresa said it had something to do with when this Spiel got added to the World Curling Tour or something, that's when it got moved earlier in the season. Like what was the thought process of why it moved?
I'm not sure, because the whole time I've known it, it has been this time in October. So it was years and years ago. I think Pete was actually a junior when it was Thanksgiving weekend. John Benton and Richie Vernon ran this for many, many years. So they might have been one of them to switch. And then we've just been running it for the last 3 or 4 years. So we normally juggle back and forth between marathon weekends. So this year we didn't have the marathon weekend. We thought that would help out, but it ended up there were 2 concerts in town, Pitbull and Chris Stapleton. So hotels were hard to find for the teams. But
I didn't really know that the marathon goes right by here.
Oh yeah, it makes it for some tricky commuting sometimes on that Sunday morning draw.
It goes right by my house. I live on Minnehaha Parkway, and it goes right by my house. So last Saturday, we had juniors on Saturday morning, and it was a lot to get Ruby all ready to go, and we had to take a different path because the highway was closed and the parkway was closed because of the marathon, and I didn't know that a bunch of stuff over here is closed. So we get over here, and we're on the wrong side of the
oh, yeah, so the wrong side of the road.
I had no idea how to get here, and I ended up parking like 4 blocks away, and we walked.
Yeah, you made one double run.
Yeah.
It was kind of raining. Yesterday was a great day to be outside. So
I wouldn't know.
2 and 3 ends so far almost. Let's see if I can make one more.
So is this a pair of pants?
Jesus.
You know, I'm trying to look on the overhead here. Pretty close, yes.
Sort of thought about when I got in the hack too, I should have just called down and more weight. I was thinking just throw it firm for what it's worth and take a little bit of the guesswork out of it, take a little less ice and whip it. Even peel for what it's worth, right?
Yep. Hard!
Oh, it's kind of hanging out there.
So that one kind of
Oh, well.
curled quite a bit. That's different.
That, I didn't expect that. It must not have been lined up as I thought it.
Yeah, sometimes those overhead cameras aren't the same, or just.
I can't see that overhead.
I think that just curled a little bit more than Tyler was expecting.
Yep.
Well, he didn't throw with a ton of weight.
Oh, a little bit quieter.
Yeah. I was actually kind of hoping, I was expecting a
Looks like enough, eh? We don't want to play
ton
that
of weight,
too
but
tight.
didn't happen.
No.
Just kind of tick it a little bit.
Okay. Top 4 right around?
It really is interesting having players mic'd and hearing that discussion, what they're talking about kind of after, and
Where was
Yeah.
I? Getting
See what
back
they were
8
thinking.
there on my last one? Back 4?
Well, if you notice, a couple of the other teams have earbuds in. I'm piping the audio. We're doing a little scouting.
what?
Like, you know, if they can hear the other skips.
Oh, yeah, right.
Easy. Whoa. Whoa, then.
Yeah, I think you are through.
Well, the teams kind of talked before that and seemed like they were all on board on what weight, and that one just kind of sailed.
Well,
Okay.
A couple surprise looks
it's
there.
kind of downhill going that way, I've noticed.
You've probably watched the sheet a little bit more than me this weekend, so.
Well,
Told me a little sluggish
maybe.
down
Yeah, I
there.
always say downhill coming home, right? Because you're a little bit more amped up in that 8th end to throw those draws. So it feels that way.
I don't think that it's the best read on the weight either. I mean, I gave it a little extra because
Yep, so you can hear just that little bit of extra, thinking needed it, and just kept going.
well, that sucks.
Whoa.
Okay, crack a 2 at
Mark,
least.
Whoa, it's good.
We've seen quite a
better
few
going.
misses on, not on this side, but on the other side of the house, outside, kind of takeouts like that, particularly early.
Yeah, it looks like read that really nice. Tyler's
Yep.
rock ran great.
What?
Nice clean to get the 3.
Just a pure end, boys. I think we hit them all.
I think Bill might have taken the
Shoot
words almost out of my
20%
mouth there. It looked like that end
Pretty
was
solid.
had a lot of rocks in play, and then got the house cleaned up and spread out. So Red got a nice 3.
Lazar made his first shot.
Looks like McCormick also got a 3. Yeah, 5-2.
Ice is really
3 in the
Ice is
third.
really challenging out here today. Challenging.
Bill's speaking very positive to his teammates, saying the ice is challenging. Dean's, I
looks
think,
like
been a
Murray-
little bit hard on himself, thinking he's not making very many shots, but
Murray scored 1 in the third, and he trails liked her 3-2. And I can't see the scoreboard on Clark Brown, but I think it's a 1-point game.
Yeah, they haven't hung any numbers here.
Well, it looks like there's a 1.
Just the one. Just
yeah.
the 1. Yep.
Yeah.
The 2 still up on the board.
No, I didn't know how close they were.
These head things, I feel like my head's a little small here, Chris.
Yeah.
Juggling around with it.
You know what? I'll have to get you a special set.
Glad I brought my glasses, though, so I can actually see.
I'll get the children's. It might be rubies, though, so it might be pink.
Ooh, pink.
She actually doesn't like pink. She's not a girly girl like that.
Yeah, sometimes a little bit of pink's okay, in the right shade, but.
Listen, we know we're not peeling this one out, so.
Crooked number up and then keep on going.
Yeah.
Stick with the strategy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Get a 2 back.
I bet these guys, I could see that one of the reasons why they love coming here, because they used to all curl together on the circuit, and it probably is super cool to like just have a competitive, you get to do it all again. You don't have probably the energy or the wherewithal to be on the circuit.
Coming down, getting a little better. Gotta go now.
Yeah, and just
but
playing
doing this with all their friends.
Right, getting some good wins, and obviously every game that they win, they probably are able to give their friends a little bit of a hard time throughout the season, joking around. Seems like there's a lot of joking around here in St. Paul, lighthearted, with a lot of great play. So good to see that teams out here, as much as they want to beat each other on the ice, they are really quite friendly off the ice.
I had Ruby down here yesterday, and a number of the high-performance coaches did an assessment for the Bantam high-performance program.
Oh.
I think that Ruby's going to qualify.
That's great to hear.
Gotta go. Okay.
Taught her everything that you know, right?
No. In fact, I haven't taught her anything, and that's probably why she's
teaching you a few
qualifying.
things.
No, she did come down with Aaron, and I told her, I'm like, you're going to have to talk to these
Tough
people.
weekend.
You could be good friends with them, and then take you places. Because curling definitely takes you places if you're on the competitive circuit. Although I don't know how much time you get to see those places.
Yeah, that's always kind of an interesting one. I've recently had a conversation with my director at work, and Pete and I are deciding to go over to Switzerland.
It's just a little dicey.
It's like you're going to spend some time over touring, right? Like, how many cities are you going to see? Well, we hope to spend all our time in the curling club.
Yeah.
He quite didn't understand that, and that's kind of curler's life, is you play in events and you hope to have 2, 3, maybe even 4 games a day, and eat, sleep, curl.
That's also similar to like just people that travel for work. Although I think you do have to make sure you put a day in to, smell the roses. Otherwise, you get burned out on all that travel, I think.
Well, unfortunately, sometimes that day of sightseeing means you didn't qualify. So.
Yeah, but it could be an extra day. It could be.
I want to work for you. How much vacation can I get? A lot of these players do. If they have full-time jobs, they're taking their work computers and trying to work between games to be able to have that balance of work and optimize the vacation, stretch it out as much as they can. So.
Yep. Yep. Hard. 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 Hard.
Is he going to get
Hard,
burned?
boys. Keep her going. Keep her going. Keep her going. Keep her going. Whoa. Okay. That's fine.
Wow. It's just unbelievable how it goes at the end.
Looks like sheet 3 is pretty open there again, so they're playing a pretty open, clean game. Pretty happy with these guys putting some rocks in play,
Yeah.
giving people something to watch.
Looks like Dean's trying to do the run back, but he might be a little on the side.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, cleared out a lot there. So that comment I said about the patch,
Popped her hair.
Colin's jersey, it actually is a patch. I thought it was all graphic treatment.
Oh, yep, they have that added sewn in.
So you you do Dynasty, your
Curling
apparel.
Yeah.
I've noticed that Dynasty, from this vantage point, the Dynasty curlers, they all have Dynasty on their shoulder. Good. You can see it from up above.
Yep, quite a few sponsors out there have preferred locations for their logos, so Dynasty likes to have that there or middle of the back. A lot of teams that are sponsored by Hardline, they also prefer a shoulder placement.
Where it stops.
So
it makes sense too, because a lot of pictures, the action shots in curling, you kind of lead with the shoulder.
Yep, for the sweeping. Yeah, I even have my Dynasty Curling Apparel hoodie on.
I know, it looks very comfortable.
It is.
Split here? Split the rings here on yours? Or do you want to go guard?
I'm good for either.
Yeah?
7 seconds hog to hog on that.
I think when you and Pete had that conversation, you got more technical about how Dynasty does their stuff, but.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, did I have that observation before? I don't know. Sometimes, you got to have new conversations.
Right. I just thought it was fun. Like for our uniforms, we're able to send them a picture of Northern Lights and say we wanted something like Northern Lights, and they did a great job with it, having those pop and come out. And
yeah, yours look great, and they do pop.
Thank you. I have to give all the credit for Pete on design. We went through a couple of tweaks. The company was great to work with. Had first mock-up and asked them for some tweaks and went back and forth a few times. And
so when they do a mock-up, is that on like electronic?
Yep, they'll just send pictures of T-shirts. If you follow them on Twitter or Facebook, they post all the team uniforms, and it's just kind of on a black background with the shirt sling flat. So
it does seem like they did they are optimized for social media marketing.
Yeah, they do a lot of social media.
Which I kind of tune out. I'm not a social media person.
Oh. It's amazing how well they track their teams. They
Yep.
have over 100+ teams around the world, and every event they're kind of cheering everybody on. So
Hard.
Yeah, we can see that it's hard. That's nice. Split those out.
So yeah, right now Team B Stopera is keeping Kiovula on the run here. Anytime Kiovula thinks he's getting something set up, they're running back and cleaning the house.
Over on sheet 6, it's impressive that there are that team, Burr, there's a lot of stones in play. I mean, mostly yellow in the center, but
Line's really good.
Did you say something?
Wait only.
it seems like, though, there might be an opportunity to get one over there. I don't know.
Line's
It
perfect.
looks like they have 2 skip rocks to come yet for red, so
Line's perfect.
see what Todd can do here to set up a skip's deuce.
Yep. That's good.
It's a very nice draw underneath that cover.
Good throw.
Yep.
Maybe Pete wants to jump on here with you. You can't go too far.
Oh, no.
I discovered this.
Stand up,
I discovered
though,
this
so
yesterday that you
I'm
can
not taller.
stand. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fourth edge.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I have a hard time seeing. I have to
Let's see
kind
if
of
I
kneel
can
a
get
little
it
bit
out.
so I can see underneath the top window thing here.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yep, Team Burst thinking here. They were fortunate enough to get a pretty good super sub here with Jim Ivey. Team Burr has Hunter Klassen added to their team this year, and Hunter is over in Switzerland at the Mixed World Championship representing Team USA. I think they started out with 2 wins. They're 2-0. I don't know if I checked this morning. The time is about 6 hours different, so.
Very nice.
Keep that going.
So when you say the time is about 6 hours different,
One here.
what kind of
Or we just
variations
try
is
and
it?
run
Sometimes
blanks that, like,
6 hours
you know
and
what I
3
mean?
minutes
Run it.
different?
You know, I
Twice
Googled it a couple
probably.
weeks ago, and I just don't remember if it's 5 or 6.
So you're saying it might be
so.
6 or 7 or
Got
5.
back 4.
Yeah.
Pete is at
You
6.
can be slightly out of the 4.
He's laughing at
Mine
me
won't
over
go
here.
quite as sideways as yours at the end.
Pete's answer was about
But
6
I mean, you got
hours.
to there, I'm thinking here's pretty good.
So you
Good
can
speed,
translate
hey,
that,
right up.
Chris.
Sometimes they're in metric time, so conversion can be a little difficult.
Okay, come around back 4.
I did watch. I don't know
You
if
can
we
be
can pull
just
up,
a
but
hair out of the 4
it
too and still be
posted.
shot.
Hunter made a nice. I think it was a run back double. It was hard to watch on the phone driving in today for 7 against Brazil. So that helped
Holy
them
moly.
cruise to a 12-3 win. But in the second, he made beauty of a shot for 7. I think Brazil might have been looking at a steal at that point. So.
You know that the way you say beauty like that, it almost sounds like you've got some Canadian heritage.
I just like to watch
A little bit. A little
Mine's
bit.
good.
Comes out when I'm tired.
Yeah, he's got more
And
rotation
it's
on
been
him.
a long weekend here, so you might hear a little bit of my Canadian accent. Oh, great draw here. Good sweep
Good
by the
brush,
boys.
Your brush
Yeah,
plug.
so that was 25-2. Whatever
Okay.
that means.
Make him throw it. Yeah. Just a
Gosh, if
hair
I was out there
further,
throwing
I
on
guess,
that,
right?
I'd be pretty happy, I think, with that speed. The sweepers can do a lot when the ice is at that speed.
So that means it's slowing
Thinking that
down.
path out
Is
here
that what you're
is gonna
saying?
be
It's
fine.
faster,
We go wider, it's
so
still gonna
hopefully
be
the
a
rocks
good
are
speed.
gliding
So
a little
that's
bit more.
faster.
Yep.
So if it was at
Yeah,
23
that's the line,
before,
right?
or 23.8, say,
Yep.
now it's 25.
Yep.
That means it takes longer for the rock to get to
Right.
the same spot.
Right, so you're not throwing it as hard, and it takes longer to get to the same spot.
Gotcha.
And then the sweepers can wait just a little bit longer before they sweep it, and then they can have a little bit better rock placement, put it wherever they want it.
Clean, 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 clean.
Great shot here by Tyler.
Yeah. Yep.
Tyler does that. He's pretty involved in that House of Hearts
Pretty good shot there.
Spiel in Duluth,
Yeah, I'll give
I
you the
think.
same weight.
Yeah, in March
Yeah.
he runs
Actually, made it
Wait, it'll
pretty
be the
good.
Kim
same
and
here,
Joe
right,
Polo
Clark?
run it. And
Yeah.
great event
This is that
for
draw to the
charity up
button.
there.
Nothing,
That's
but a couple.
one thing
Hey,
in the
everybody
curling
at least made
community. You can have a lot of great weekends to raise a lot of money for charity.
1.5.
I've never
Best
played in
bet
that.
of the
Have you
game.
been up at that House of Hearts?
Nope, I have not. Jordan did it last year.
And did he tell you any stories from out there?
Yeah, there were some pretty good stories that I'm not going to share on the air.
Yeah, you were kind of mentioning lupus when you play the mulligan card and different cards. It doesn't quite
Hard boys.
feel like a Bonspiel.
Yeah.
And
Hard
curling, I
boys!
think House of Hearts has a little bit more fun
Yep.
up there. And do they play 4-end games? Maybe an 8-end game eventually?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know the format, but yeah, it does seem, based on the feedback that I was getting from Jordan, which fits kind of his, point of view. Oh, we have handshakes here
Oh,
on sheet 6.
Team Bird shaking here.
Yeah.
Oh. Cormac just, yep, they'll get a little bit longer rest before the semifinals at noon.
Yeah,
If people are watching that on the stream.
What are they doing over there? That's all.
So do you have a first out prize here?
No, I haven't even looked at who's playing football
wanna
yet
go
today,
through?
but maybe those teams will be able to watch a little bit of
It's in the rings.
football or
Definitely
rest and
back
recover
four.
and get ready for the week.
It's back 8.
Who knows? Maybe Todd has to get
Nice
over
shot.
to Four Seasons Curling Club and do the ice. I don't know.
Are you saying he threw the match?
No. That's just, if you don't win, you come to work kind of deal.
Yeah.
When you lose, you lose.
Yeah.
I think Heath McCormick won this last year, so he's still in to defend his title.
Todd Burr won it the year before.
Todd Burr, I think Tyler George has won it a few times. Craig
son.
Brown has
Line's
won this once or
That was
twice. Not with the team he has now, but him and Croy maybe have been playing together for a while. I don't know if Brady's ever won it or liked or Murray. Kiovula maybe, some players on that team. So
I would think it'd be well. I don't want to do any favorites or anything, but I would like to see Sean Murray. I think that would be fun. He last year helped out on the broadcast quite a bit.
It's definitely less.
Yeah, their team's having a good weekend, playing well. I think this might be actually their first weekend out, so they're playing some teams that have got a few games under their belt already. And kind of the way the crossover brackets worked, we had, you know, first in one pool play second in the other pool. We actually ended up with the all the trials teams in one bracket and the other teams in the other. So get a look at them playing each other. It's kind of nice.
See you there.
Yeah, so I wrote this down. So McCormick is going to play the winner of Clark versus Brown.
Yep.
Even. Right there.
Yeah, and then the women's side, Corey Christensen's team has won this the last couple of years, so we will have a new champion on the women's side, which is kind of exciting. The men's event has been running, I think, since 1994, maybe missed a couple years in there. And the women's started in, gosh, I think 2010 or 11, so.
Really?
Seems kind of textbook trying to get something to go under there for Kiovula.
It's my kind of work.
Start peeling things out.
Yep, just trying to set something up here and get a miss out of this Bill Stopera team that's playing pretty well
We
today.
need somebody on that sheet to catch those runs.
It kind of seems like they sort of have an all-star lineup. Although perhaps a little aged.
Yeah, no, all really good curlers and good team chemistry. They're having fun out there. I think that was one of the reasons Tyler was kind of excited to get the call and said, sure, I'll come down and play with you boys.
Keep her going then.
Well, so these three
Keep
guys
her on.
played, and that wasn't it like the 2012 Nationals they won?
Yeah, I can't remember if Mark Lazar was on the team. I think they might have had Martin
Good
and
brush,
Heater,
guys.
actually,
That's good.
when
Yep.
Dean and Bill won.
Yeah.
Trying to dust off those cobwebs to remember all those past champions. You know, I said you just throw names in a hat, right? And pull them out to form teams.
Yeah.
That's just
You know what I
joking,
should do
guys.
is you ever seen that Ancestry.com?
Oh, yeah.
They have like a hierarchy. I should just chart all the teams that people have been on and do it like that.
Probably
You
be
could say-
surprising to see how many people have actually played together.
And then it would be like in football broadcasts, you know, they're like, oh yeah, you know, this guy worked for Bill Parcells back in the day, and he came from the Bill Parcells camp of curling. Like, there's probably some, like, you know,
I like it.
pedigrees of these people train curlers.
Yep.
If you played on their
like
rink,
that.
you're set.
Yeah.
Back 8.
Well, I think there's a lot of pretty good parents out there that start their kids off pretty well.
Regan's up here giving hugs and kisses. Yep.
Dean's looking up, wondering what's going on the broadcast as he sees me and Regan saying goodbye to each other.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, actually, if you look at Dean's expression, he looks kind of pissed off. I don't know why that is.
Easy line.
Well, it's 9 in the morning, right?
Yeah.
Not an 8 a.m. draw, though.
Oh,
Yeah, I was happy about that.
line's
So
good.
yesterday,
Line's good. Line's
yesterday
good.
I got up. I set my alarm for 6:30,
Keep her going.
and I got up at 6
far as you can,
in
as
a
far as you
panic,
can.
thinking that I missed my alarm.
Okay.
Got up, and then
That's fine.
so I got up half hour before my alarm. This morning, set my alarm for 7:30.
Yeah.
I was all excited to get a whole extra hour.
Yeah.
Aaron woke me up at 7. Don't you have to get up?
Oh, no. Yeah, our alarm's been going off at 6:30 every morning here, getting here pretty early and staying pretty late, so.
Yeah. Good night of sleep tonight. I have tomorrow off.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Hopefully it'll be nice.
Canadian Thanksgiving, your company honors those Canadian
Picking, it's
holidays?
not bad either. but
Indigenous Peoples Day, actually.
it's not,
Oh.
it's still gonna leave it there.
Oh, yeah,
though.
that's right, Columbus Day.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, but I live in Minneapolis, and they changed it to Indigenous People Day.
Oh, okay. I remember when I worked at companies and got that day off. It was kind of nice. I probably actually put the turkey in the oven and had a Canadian Thanksgiving meal.
Yeah, and actually that's one of the reasons why we always go up. You know, it's always like a 3-day weekend. It's towards the end of the cabin season. It's perfect.
Are you kind of laughing at me because I'm saying Canadian Thanksgiving and American Thanksgiving?
Yeah. There's only one Thanksgiving, right? And then the Canadians thought that they needed to have another one. No.
Actually, the Americans move Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
it used
here we
to be
go.
the same time in October.
Here we go.
But I'm pretty happy that used to crave pumpkin pie starting end of September with Thanksgiving in October, and Americans now bring out pumpkin spice lattes a lot earlier. Actually, peppermint mochas in the stores now, so break out that Christmas stuff already, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Next we're going to get Valentine's Day hearts.
Yeah. As we have lots of people yelling at us online now, being like, don't even mention Christmas.
Yeah, or pay attention. There's a lot of stuff going on here.
Right, yeah. It's so much easier to pay attention when you're on the ice.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that when you're getting paid the big bucks to do this commentary, you know, people expect results.
Like yes. You do a great job getting used to working with people that put the headset on first time.
Just not too far. Not too far.
So thanks for asking me to chat with you this morning.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That'll do.
Yeah, for some reason I thought that I asked you guys last year, and you both were like, no, we're too busy, which made me think like, oh, we don't want to do it. So I didn't really bother asking until I got here.
No, we've had a lot of great volunteer help this year to give us a little bit more breathing room to be able to do things like this. So really appreciate all the people at St. Paul Curling Club that came out to help, and Julie Smith has been awesome with helping with the event as well.
Yeah, I thought she did a really good job. She's very entertaining. I like talking with her.
Yeah.
And she brought cookies with blueberries, and we had a big conversation about
those were good.
Picking blueberries in northern Minnesota or northwestern Ontario. Blueberries are fantastic.
So is that a hint? Should I be making cookies?
No.
I did make apple crisp for my coworkers the other day. They brought in apples that were going bad, so we tried to make the most out of that.
Did you peel the apples?
Line's close.
I even peeled them for them, and you know,
line's good.
Apple crisps seem to be a hit. I've taken donuts in for them before. Tim Hortons is now in the Twin Cities, so thought I would help that out, and they still were in the box at 4 in the afternoon. So
we have big arguments at our house. Erin's mom makes apple crisp, and she doesn't peel the apples, and I just think it's just terrible. I mean, it tastes fine, but I'm like, you don't want to have peels on your apples and apple crisp. It makes the consistency weird.
I kind of go back and forth, and I think it is better when you peel them, but sometimes you just don't have that time.
I got to mark that down in my notes so I can reference that.
That's good, Brad.
So yeah, actually Ruby and Erin made apple crisp this week using her mom's recipe, and they peeled 2 apples and made 1 corner of it with peeled apples for me.
Wow.
And then the rest was unpeeled apples.
That is coordination.
Yeah, I was like, wow.
And that they followed a recipe. I usually just put some sugar in and some cinnamon. You got flour and butter.
Yeah, you know, my daughter's 9. So are you trying to say that you're a better cook than my 9-year-old
No,
daughter?
I'm just saying that's great.
Rock might be a little
being a chemist for so many years, Pete laughs at me when I bake because I really don't like measuring exactly.
Too.
Okay, well then.
You're like Wonder Woman.
Yeah, so all that attention to detail when I got to the kitchen, it's more, this is close enough.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Like, I don't know, I haven't had any.
Have you ever read the book? There's a book called Ratios, or Ratio. It's a cooking book that talks about like how all the different batters and doughs and sauces are really just a ratio between acids and bases and whatever, flours.
I haven't read that book, but
I haven't read it. I bought it though. I have it.
Good shot.
So that's where you were.
Yeah, you know.
But when you get down to it,
pretty close.
Baking is kind of hard to wing it.
Yeah, close.
Because getting the leavener and I mean, I don't consider apple crisp baking.
Just weld it.
I know, because the apple pie is a lot of effort, so I just feel like it's
but it's pretty
you
dang
skip the crust and it's kind of the easy way out.
Yeah.
But a delicious way out.
All right, let's get back to this here.
Yeah, now that we've made everybody hungry, I guess apple crisp with my coffee would have been great.
Yeah, or a little pumpkin spice.
Yeah.
Close. Yep.
So he's trying to freeze to that, I'm guessing.
Yep.
But
So
he might bounce it a little bit.
He threw this a couple ends ago, and looks like he made a great adjustment here, and great shot.
Really good. Yep. Where are we going? Right on top, right?
Maybe I'll leave something. Never know, but. Yeah.
Matt over there looks like he's really good shape. Yeah. You're doing a great job. Yeah. I mean, considering.
Whoa, boys. It's got a mile
down
to go.
to 3 games here on the sheet. Looks like sheet 2 still kind of in a battle here.
Whoa.
4-2 for Leichter. And the Clark-Brown game stopped blanking ends here, and it looks like they got, Brown got 1 in the 4th,
right,
so it's tied up 1-1 after.
Had to get a pass out.
Oh, where's the 5th end? 5th end must have been blanked, yeah.
Good shot,
5th end's
Ty.
blanked.
Straight,
so.
I mean, straight draw, I think, eh? There's no sense in even trying to use that. Yeah.
Sometimes it's hard to see the numbers up here because the players are hiding them on you. So.
Yeah, and they're.
It's not bad.
We were talking about
Based
getting
on-
digital scoreboards and
Yeah,
moving
digital,
them up
yeah.
to where like the 1, 2, 3,
Yeah.
4 is up there, the numbers.
Oh, yeah.
And then combining it so that
I had to get it by that one.
you could do
Back
digital
eight.
things, and then we could sell like banners that could go back and forth, kind of like you see in football
Oh,
stadiums.
yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even look at it.
Yeah, I think there are some clubs with electric scoreboards. It's always a fun thing to see how each club does their scoreboard.
Yep.
The first time you have to hang
Yeah,
a
so-
score, it's like, peg, where are the numbers? I've seen where clubs actually hide the ends over top the ends that you hang. It takes a while to find them sometimes.
So they're really on this right away, dragging it in.
2.
Nice sweep, nice shot.
Good
Yeah.
brush. Way to stay on that.
So they got 2.
Yep, got a nice 2 there.
So that's good. I couldn't quite tell.
Always good when you're happy to give up a deuce.
This is all right. That only goes to 3.
Jesus, it was just.
Kind of nice to be able to listen in to see what they talk about between ends.
Yeah.
Watch out. That was 2 in a row.
Colin always looks like he's dressed in such like comfortable gear.
High one.
He's just got this really nice like soft
Actually,
hoodie.
right here.
I knew it because I mic'd him up, so I got
Oh.
to touch it. And, yeah, his hoodie. It made me feel uncomfortable. I don't know why. Like I feel more uncomfortable miking up women. Which I mean, I guess that's obvious why that is.
Yeah.
But I shouldn't be. I should just be like, you got to get mic'd up, you know.
Yep. Well, and it's all kind of preference where you're running the wire and connecting it.
Oof.
That's good.
Yesterday I noticed, so I'd spent most of the day up here, and then I had that break when Scott Belvich and Sydney Warch were on the mic, and I walked downstairs. It smelled like a locker room down there.
Gotta go.
Yeah, people working hard, right?
Yeah, well,
Lots of bodies coming
there were
through.
just a lot of people,
Yeah.
on and off, and there isn't like really good windows down there to like open up and get a cross breeze.
Yeah, I think upstairs you can open the windows. Yeah, I heard Scott and Sydney did a great job yesterday.
Yeah, they did a
so
really good job.
appreciate everybody who's hopped on the mic to help out. Appreciate it a lot more now that I'm on the mic. And it's not as easy as some people
It's
make
fun
it look.
though. It's not a big deal. I mean, it might be different if we got a whole bunch of people commenting that this is,
What's
you know,
that?
bunch of horse manure and what are you doing on the mic, but
hopefully they're giving us a little bit of grace being Sunday morning. Like maybe if it was Saturday night.
Line's good.
Do you know that song Sunday Morning Coming Down?
No, I don't. Are you going to sing a little bit?
Chris Christopherson wrote it. I think Willie Nelson's recorded it, and remember those kind of Merle Haggard, I think, does.
Oh.
Keep her going.
Yeah, it goes. I woke up Sunday
Keep
morning.
her going. Bounce out of here. Okay.
With no place to put my hand. No place to lay my head that didn't hurt. So I poured myself a cold one, then another. I don't know.
We're going to ask him.
I could sing it if I had the lyrics, but I used to sing it with guitar quite a bit.
Well, Sunday morning is not usually as bad as Monday morning.
Yeah. Yeah, at least you don't have to go to work.
That poor Monday got such a bad rap.
Yeah, I was just talking about that at work, but if you did get rid of Mondays, then that would hurt Tuesdays.
That would, but Friday would come that much quicker.
Yeah.
It's a little heavier, this one. It's going to go, though. So me. It's not dying that much. Gotta go.
Yeah, so we got Bill and Dean trying to judge it, always talking about the ice as they bring this rock right into the house. Yeah, great shot.
Very nice.
Great wake
That
control.
was 24.99. Of course, it wasn't
do that all weekend.
quite to T, but
True.
That's not even
beautiful.
ideal.
If he's listening out there in TV land.
Yeah. Just
Coach
move him.
Lazard,
Try and
showed
move
you
it a
how it's
hair.
Lazar, he said. He's with MedNet 1. MedNet 1
Jesus.
is one of the fine sponsors of our team.
Okay. T-line. I think we have to loosen that up anyways. We're never going to get to that. T. Splitting guards up on first, second stone. Jesus. Building the wall.
Well, these guys, what are they throwing?
Whoa, whoa. No. Whoa. Yep. Picking. Yep.
Will's just trying to juggle things around here, try to give him an opportunity to
That's good. That's the other way.
set up a steal.
yeah, they did that, the Brooklyn
Perfect.
side of that.
Yeah, they kind of got that wall there. Let's see.
The only reason I say that is because he said, well, I had to do it the other way.
Yeah, it looked like it kind of made a move on him and curl a little bit more. We'll see how much cleanup here team does.
In? We just didn't know what turn. The turn didn't matter. We just needed to know which one. Gotta go.
I'm missing a third grade event day, or Ruby's third grade, and all the parents are getting together. One of the parents is general manager of a new brewing facility / brew pub type
I don't like
place.
what?
Oh, there's another new one in the Twin Cities. Is
Really,
it here in
eh?
the Twin Cities?
Yeah, it's up on the river.
What's that one called?
Brennan.
I don't know. Let me look here. It is called.
I mean, where do you want to go with this? Like blank? Or
It's at
Because, I mean, if we're
4:30, so
throwing normal weight
theoretically I
runs,
could
they're
run
thinking
over
blank
there,
here,
but
right?
Oh,
I don't
right.
see that happening.
But
It's
you
called
know what I mean?
Prize Pryes Brewing Company.
Oh, I know.
Huh.
I totally
Apparently,
agree.
it's supposed to be
Totally
the
agree. Yeah,
largest. It's supposed to be a really large facility. I don't. So,
Interesting. Lots of those breweries popping up.
yeah, this guy
Maybe we should-
Alex
Yeah.
is
I
used to
don't
run
like a ton of weight
work
at
at.
this,
Used to
so-
be the general manager of
Okay,
Pat's
okay.
Tap, and he moved over there. So he's a nice guy.
Should have Ruby on our sponsorship committee trying to find sponsors. Maybe she
I know
can
he doesn't like it, but
butter them up for us.
Yeah. Yeah. You should get Dave Wilson on that committee. He seems to be
right on the snow.
a really
International.
yeah. He's a good talker on getting people to donate money.
Yeah, we do have
just dead nose, straight back,
good support from the community, some great sponsors. Those watching web stream can probably see some banners hanging up. So Terrapin Curling, we appreciate all their sponsorship that they help this event out. Chris, you might know a little bit about Terrapin Curling?
Yeah, I'm the president and CEO of Terrapin Curling.
So streaming on the mic and helping out, sponsoring the event. Very much appreciated. Louisiana Cafe has been a long-time sponsor supporting this event, and we have Breakthrough Beverage that Coors Light, or Coors and Labatt.
Yeah, that's interesting to me that so you got a beverage distributor, and then they choose which brand to display.
Yep.
So is that just their discretion?
Yep, they just choose which ones.
I wonder why. I wonder what goes into that.
And then we try to have those on tap here at the event.
One over here.
I think that Rebecca Powell bought us a picture of off the web stream last night. She sent Dex to give us a picture of Labatt Blue. It's actually one of my favorite beers after curling, because it's not really heavy like some of the the modern brews, the Surleys and Summits, hoppy. And after being kind of dehydrated and tired, I find that a nice refreshing,
nice cold
lighter
beer.
Yeah.
Yeah, we also have Western Bank and TSR as sponsors.
Yeah, TSR also sponsors McCormick Squad. I don't know how they got that hookup. And I think that they do Todd Burr's team, because I don't know if they renewed it this year.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great that there are companies out there that help sponsor teams.
Yeah, maybe
they are traveling a lot and spending money on entry fees and
just
hotel
behind
rooms
the tee,
and flights.
basically.
So.
Yeah, I was talking to Pete about what would it take to get it to $20,000 purse, because I think it sounds like a nice number.
Yeah, there's one way is to raise the entry fee. So the St. Paul committee believes in trying to keep the entry fee as low as possible. So it's $650 including tax. So it ends up being $603-ish that you're able to contribute to the payout. We do pay out over 100% of our entry fees. So the sponsors help cover our expenses and give a little bit more to the teams. So we could raise the entry fee or try to we continue to work hard to get more sponsorships.
Yeah, so I wonder what would be the difference in the makeup of who entered if you say you raised the entry fee, but you didn't have more sponsors. So
right, because there are some events even in Minnesota, up in Canada, where the entry fee is $1,000, $1,200.
Well, wait, what's this mean?
So they can pay out a little bit more. We try to keep it lower because.
So what I was saying, though,
we have a lot of
what would be the difference? Like, say, because there's two ways. If you wanted to get to a $20,000 purse, just theoretically speaking, you could raise entry fees, so you'd probably get a different mix of teams with that. If you had sponsors, then you'd probably have to have like some sort of, because we probably have more teams that wanted to play because they could afford it.
Yep. So then you see if you would expand it and start sooner, an extra day. Or, we seem to have a pretty good draw. We try to give the ice makers as much time as possible to prepare the ice so that the teams can be playing on the
I didn't even think about that.
Provide.
You could leave it the same and then have more teams. Yeah. Because then you'd get more. Of course, you had more expenses.
Then you have more draw. Yep.
Yeah.
So.
Streaming costs go through the roof.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Back four.
I should figure out how to make this iPad not every time I look at it, it's timed out.
Yep. Heart.
So I can't remember how many events St. Paul Curling Club hosts throughout the year, if it's 10 or 12. So that's another thing, trying to get sponsorships is trying to spread that out through multiple events.
Oh, Rebecca Powell, Rebecca Clark. Sorry about that. It's early.
Good throw on your
And I have a
first
tiny
too.
iPad.
Boys thought it was a little heavier. It ended up.
Look at you looking at everything. I should be on my phone to get some tips too.
Yeah, I should stop looking at things and concentrate.
Yeah, I think that's. Yeah.
Jordan Potts is
Jesus.
having a little bit of struggle there over on sheet 6, but looks like he's okay. Those shoes are distracting him today.
Yeah, what are you supposed to deal with
Guy
this?
falls off the
I think
bench,
he
doesn't throw.
decided to throw that
Jordan.
bench over almost on sheet 7 somehow.
Oh,
So just like.
You know, kind of been
Yeah,
out on the ice and notice it. There
yeah,
seems
I
to
like
be
that,
just
Yeah.
something
But I
that
think we
seems to
gotta
be
get in
smudging the
there.
sliders a little bit. So when you're sliding
Couldn't
on
even
that,
watch it.
it's
He fell off the
grabbing and
bench
feeling
once.
different under
I
their
don't know what the
foot.
hell happened over there.
Jordan has shoes like that that have the round thing and then they pop out.
Oh, Asham, yep.
Yeah, I don't know if I like that. Like
I am
remember I
going
was
to
at,
choose to be
You okay,
silent
buddy?
on my opinions. on
yeah, I just noticed like I was at a Spiel once with him. Maybe he just didn't know what he was doing with his shoes, but he was walking down
Okay,
and
so like
he was walking and it fell off, like it wasn't secure or something.
Christmas tree, sorta.
Yeah, that seems to happen when I was actually
No, he
watching,
said it-
I think it
maybe
was
it's still
Everest, one of the televised
Yeah.
curling events, and
Even down
somebody's
the
shoe had
center,
kind of
it's
come
not
apart, and they're
sluggish
trying
at
to figure
all.
out how to put it together.
Huh? Yeah.
Lucky enough, there were some teams that had lost out that had the same size feet and could just lend the guy a shoe playing in the final.
Ah.
Nothing like putting on somebody else's shoes for a final game.
Yeah, I have gold line shoes, and not that they're great shoes or anything, but they're mine feels like it's built like a tank, like it's so heavy.
Some are heavier than others, getting lighter and lighter.
Yeah, I need to get new shoes, and mine are starting to get beat up a little bit, and I don't know what I'm going to do.
I've always said whatever feels good on your feet and comfortable. You're wearing them for 2 hours at a time, multiple games.
Very nice draw.
So you just got to kind of try them on and see what feels good.
Yeah, there's not a lot of opportunities, though, to try on curling shoes. And there isn't like a showroom you can go to.
Just went sideways.
It's not around here. I guess up at Four Seasons they have a
has some
shop.
curling supplies now. Yep.
I think so, right? It's not going to change the shot, so.
Then there's always the option to find those nice tennis shoes that you like or whatever, and have those turned into custom curling shoes.
Yeah, up in Blaine they have advertisements all over the place for those custom shoes.
Yep.
It's pretty good too.
Hey, Bill's not paying attention. Tyler wants him to get more broom. He's just, oh, whatever.
Yeah, just aim at my foot, right? Tyler can't really yell very loud either, so.
Whoa. Off. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yep. Yep, hard. Anything, Nate.
So, I mean this. But then we got to.
I think if we double, he's making that nose for one.
Yeah.
I think we got to go.
Good shot.
So it looks like it's all tied up on
really good
sheet
one,
2.
and At least we make it really
Like
good
Jordan
this
Murray.
way, and he's drawing for one, or he's going to run or something.
Going into the 6th. I can't see the score on sheet 3, but
It looks like it's still 1-1. Not sure what happened
Just
in the
sort of
sixth.
like board
Kind of
up.
listening in to see what the team decided here.
Should go
We had a
pretty
great
hard, eh?
discussion to see what
Like
they
that.
wanted to leave Team Stopera.
Oh, nice. I'm wondering for a second, you're actually probably a hair out of anything.
Just like board up. Try and flop it Clark's
Bill
way.
and Tyler kind of talking about Tyler's
I
last
think
rock.
if we knock that
TC
double
has
anyways,
the same
it's just
shot
a
again.
nose hit, so.
Make sure they make any adjustments if needed.
Three ball for him.
So see if these guys can get the roll here and
nice.
change up Tyler's shot a little bit.
Yeah, I think so.
Almost.
Didn't quite roll far enough, so.
What's that? No.
Brad Clausen said he didn't appreciate all the Phoenix phone calls that he got last night at the bar.
And it was like,
Why Phoenix phone calls?
So Rebecca from Phoenix bought us a pitcher of beer.
Yeah.
So, and he was working the bar.
Oh, I see.
I don't think he actually minded. You know, most people think that Brad Clausen is looks like a real mean-spirited guy and not a fun-loving guy. But if you actually get to know him, he knows how to have a good time, and he, you know, is kind of relaxed.
Yeah.
Yep. Whoa, whoa,
Yeah, he was
whoa.
kind enough to watch that tiebreaker game, hoping they got off the ice at 20-1, just in case
Mark, gotta go.
they wanted to get
Really
a
hard.
pitcher of beer.
Go, Mark, go, go, go.
So he's
Go,
watching the
keep
clock
going.
for him.
Gotta stay on it. Jesus, sorry, guys.
Come on,
hey, that's another way to do it. That's fine.
That's good enough.
Shot time. Yeah. That was a little,
So played a pretty nice
dirty.
weight and overcurled a little bit, but happened to still make the shot to get his
gonna do?
deuce.
What are you talking
Try and
about?
take a 3.
You were sweeping the whole way. Well, I thought it was hanging for a second.
No doubter.
You didn't ask for the tickle.
So they got 2. So they're up by 7-3.
Yep.
Oh, I thought he was.
Oh,
looking
it
for
looks
the
like
tickle.
they hung the 6th end over there on
Oh,
sheet
the
3
tickle,
and
tickle.
5-2.
5 or 4 to
sheet
2
3,
now.
yeah.
Yep. 3-4 Brady in the 6th end.
Just get
You
up
are
yourself
correct.
and race up there and start sweeping.
God. I think all the teams here in the playoffs and even teams that haven't made the playoffs, there was some great curling, great shots made here this week. And if you look at the pools, it was pretty tight. A lot of teams battling it
Where
out
old
right to
people
the
don't
wire.
even chase 'em.
So we're doing the throw through.
Veterans.
Yep, so
Yeah.
Are we on the mic?
we'll
Oh, yeah.
see.
Can you hear me?
No.
Oh.
You just can't hear me, Bill.
can't
It'd be
hear
great
you
to talk
either.
to you.
Did
They're
you
looking
see
up
that
at
veteran
us.
Move? We didn't walk after that rock. It's because we're old.
Good thing you threw it hard enough. No doubt.
Yeah, that would be funny if it's just kind of. He goes.
Teams do normally clean, and
Anyways, MedNet
it is
won.
kind of interesting when you have people having to sweep it
MedNet
through.
won is
Sometimes they'll try and play
unbelievable for
hack weight to get a
healthcare
read on the ice, and they don't quite throw hack weight, so
Her
you're
daughter,
sweeping through.
Yoches, who just got married yesterday.
Okay, whoever the hell that is. What did you just say?
I know I remember the first time I had to throw through.
What you got there? Are they even
Being a
working
newer
now?
curler, it actually freaked me out.
Re-upped on $100?
I was like, what do you
or
mean? I just throw it through. So over on sheet 2, could we get sheet 2 near? I guess it's 2 near. It's quite the house here between Leichter and Murray. Murray just drew in that the yellow one, or had before, and then they're trying to figure out how to get points out of that.
Yeah, are they down to, how many rocks are down there trying to look around poles?
It looks like there's 4 red, I think, and
So
yeah,
thirds
4
first,
apiece. Yeah.
they're at thirds first rock here.
There's been a lot of this, like in my curling, I don't get this very often, and where
I think this
people
is
are
better
comfortable
off.
having that many rocks in,
Yeah, and they just don't want to set something up. It looks like yellow's in a good position over there, and
That felt great, Mark.
don't want to play something too early to give red the out to be able.
High one.
Let's see who's got. Yeah, red's got hammer over there in the 6th.
Line's
So
good.
I admire,
Nice
like,
and high.
Sean is really good on the broadcast. He's really good at talking about the possibilities and what you want to do and what you don't want to do. People that have a quick mind like that.
That's good.
Wilberg
Clark.
was like that on the.
yep, you got to go through everything in your mind and settle on one, but also be thinking a few shots ahead. So
Really?
if you
So
play
are
it one
they
shot
gonna-
at a time,
are
you
they
can
gonna
get
do
yourself
a
in trouble.
Tap here, I think. Just
Well,
gonna,
since we're at a weird angle over here, it's hard to tell. He might just try to freeze another yellow one in there.
yeah, there's quite a bit of
To
room.
kind of have a setup shot, because there's still 4 rocks to come. So knowing these teams being able to throw quite a bit of weight, they can move a lot of granite with one rock. So tied up game there. They don't want
Yeah, same shot.
to give
High
up
one.
a 3.
Rock's been delivered.
Nice and high.
Yep. So again,
Where it stops in.
guys from Thunder Bay
Wherever
here
it
are trying to
stops.
get something set up and see if they can get Stopera's team to
Come on
tense
down.
up a little bit and get a couple misses out of them. But this team's looking pretty relaxed right now. And
Let's go, George.
We're
Curling pretty
we actually
well.
have the video over here though. I haven't bailed on this game, but
I was just trying to give the update with
I hear you.
without, there's 2 rocks in play, 2 guards.
I hear you. I hear you. So yeah, I guess you don't really have to describe what people can see.
Yeah.
He didn't miss
So
everything.
so he did
Oh,
just
good.
play the draw
Yeah.
tap, trying to set
That's very
something
nice,
up to
actually.
make sure yellow doesn't get in too much trouble here without hammer. Red's gotta. They're gonna play a hit, kind of move these around a little bit to make sure they don't get into too much trouble and give up the steal in the 6th end.
So do you think this would be a pretty upweight?
Yeah, the broom, it looks like it. Martin's been throwing pretty good. He's been making lots of really clutch shots this weekend. Which is probably good reason
Nice
when your
and
third's
high.
making good shots
Yep.
that you're in the quarterfinals.
Line's good. Line's good. Nice and high.
That's pretty interesting.
This
Yeah,
one's
again,
going
sitting over here, not quite
sideways. Right there.
sure what he was looking for there. He threw it hard though, got that right.
Kiovula might put another high guard up. Tyler George is going to call for the appropriate takeout. So that the shot that Leichter just threw back probably wasn't ideal, right? It didn't move any
Yeah, they
yellows.
were kind of sweeping it hard. It was kind of hard. I'm not sure if he was trying to hit that on the outside and thought he could pick one of those yellows out.
Yeah.
And sitting a couple sheets over at this angle,
Yep.
the house looks a lot different. I guess I could try to look at the
You know,
overhead,
you're preaching to the choir here.
but
That's why we need to
sometimes you
hit.
forget about it. You yell, you're like, that's wide open.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm 2 feet over from the hack. And
Yeah,
looks so much
that's why
different.
we're thinking about putting a media booth outside the glass on a track that we can like drive
right
it back and forth. You know, oh, now we're gonna motor the whole thing over to sheet 5.
Sliding.
But as long as you keep
Sliding
sitting
it.
behind
Yeah, I
the
don't
glass,
mind
it's a
being
lot
behind
easier
the
to
tee.
Yeah, get
tell what
beer.
the shot. Tell what the shot should be behind
Yeah.
the glass. When
Yeah.
you're out on the ice, it always looks so much different.
Yeah. So now it looks
Line's
like
good.
actually they might be trying to draw behind now.
So yep, Kiovula still has that one guard they're working with here, trying to set
Line
up
will
their
be good.
deuce, and
It's a little heavy to me.
Very nice.
wanted to sit, and Tyler's just calling Bill to peel this out, keep it nice and clean.
That I think that when I was curling with you in the Lucas Spiel, that was the first time I was introduced to leaving that rock in the back of the 12, and then people like yelling, "Don't sweep, don't sweep!" I was like, because I think I played third for you,
Oh, yep.
and I was like, "What are you talking about? I'm going to get anything I can get out. That's my only job is to sweep." But
Yeah, it gets
I think we
kind of
have to
different
go there.
leaving things behind and trying to
Oh, yeah.
set up jams or
It's
figure
definitely
things
our
out.
game.
At this point, any rock that Kiovula can get in play is the team's friend, so trying to use whatever they can.
they're really they're doing the
Easy line.
geometry over there on sheet 2.
Yeah, whatever
Line's good.
Martin threw there, however that worked out,
Line
seemed
good.
to confuse Murray. I think they're using their second timeout. No, there's no timeouts this weekend or time clocks.
Yep.
But having so many rocks
throw,
in
Brent.
front of the tee line makes teams have to think a little bit more.
Good throws.
I like how people
So
place
split
the
the
broom
rings
down
here, I
like
guess. Just
right
take a few
here.
and try and make 'em look
Yeah.
asleep.
Like No, I think it should be right
throw against
here.
3 in the last sort of deal.
That game of inches, it
Yeah.
makes a difference.
I can't see it.
Oh, looks like Craig's not going around there, but I don't know if he was trying to go behind that one and
I'm going the other way, but
freeze down.
down the center wasn't too
Yep.
bad. Yeah.
Clean, clean.
Yeah, so
Can they see sheet 3 there?
3 far or 2 far. I'm kind of interested though on this too, what they're going to do here, Murray. This is like we're fighting over the remote control.
Right.
Yeah.
Throw, Ty.
Well, you're in charge, so you should.
This is a good point in the weekend though, where it gets a little bit easier, less
Yep.
games
Yep.
for a draw. And
What's that?
I
Yeah,
don't know how
last
you guys do it with 6 games going on. I
last
think I'd
night
be-
when you guys scheduled that on 2, I was like, "What in the heck are you talking about?" I ran down there and said, "Sheet 2." It's like you can see here how hard it is to call sheet 2.
right.
At
Well,
least we're not in an office doing it.
yeah, it gets kind of tricky as you try to figure out where to put the games, knowing that there's quarterfinal, semifinal, and final. And you don't want teams to play back to back,
Yep.
kind of in those games. So over in 2, we were able to allow the ice makers to shave the sheets down
Yeah.
on 4, 5, 6, and try to be as nice as we can to the ice makers.
Well, you guys never said it was had anything to do with the ice makers.
Well, they need their sleep too, right? They're working hard to give the teams the best ice that they can.
So that that landed not where anybody put their broom.
Nope, I think that overcurled a little bit. So a lot of
I don't think
discussion
I
on
can sweep
that.
any better than him, that's for sure.
Good judge, guys.
And now Leichter will think about that for a little bit since
don't
the
know,
rock
is that-
didn't end up where they thought.
So can we flip it over to 2 far? Maybe we could cover the.
3 far.
Well,
See
yeah.
what's going on. I think
We
this
only
is-
have, we call the cameras 2 far and 2 near, 5 far, 5 near, because that's where
Oh,
we
I
don't
see.
have set. Yeah.
I see. Yeah, I think this is Craig's hammer shot here. Can't see where all the rocks are. Can't look through Colin and Phil.
Yeah, I can't even see what the house setup is, but it does look Brady Clark is up by quite a few.
I don't know if Brady has 2 there.
4.
Yep. Whoa, whoa.
So I don't know how many reds are in the
Yep,
house.
hard.
There was one back 12
Whoa,
before
whoa,
Brady
whoa,
shot,
whoa,
so I don't know if he
clean,
must
clean.
have maybe
There's
removed
one
it.
in the house, 1 red.
Well, Brady might have removed that. I
Well,
can't tell from here.
Matt over here on the
I like
video
normal.
screen says.
There's just that one shot. So yeah, this is 7th end over there since they've been blanking a lot. Looks like Kiovula now has the wide open hit for 2. And anticipate they're going to try and get every rock in play next end, and Stopera will be trying to keep no rocks in play. So we'll see who wins that battle. And Martin makes the pick there, so red sit 2 on sheet 2.
Yeah. Sorry for the viewers, so I should have flipped over to that. That was pretty exciting, but it's hard to juggle all this.
They didn't think they'd be streamed anyway, so their team,
Yeah.
their friends and family are probably still sleeping.
Yeah, that's right.
Coming at you.
It is. I do find like you get tempted. Like the first time we did this, I'd have a lot of people on, and you try to cover all the sheets, and I just finally said, "You got it. We only can cover 1 sheet. You know, we give updates on scores."
They can, but it spans out. They can kind of see what's going on.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. But
Yeah.
and we even had a little bit here. But when we had 3 people on, we were having cross. Like I'd be talking about sheet 2, and you know, Sean would be talking about sheet 5,
Yeah,
and
kinda what
Jordan
I
would
did.
be talking about the bar.
Job, Jordan. Kind of what I did to you a couple
And-
times this morning, because you do get sucked into those sheets that have a lot of rocks
I
in
won.
play and interesting. Like this last end here on sheet 5 was pretty open, and
So did
going into sheet 8, we'll see if we can set up a steal of 2 and go extra, or if Stopera is gonna keep this clean game going.
so Brown did score
Where
2
is it?
there. So it's
Good.
4-3.
Yeah, that pole's hiding that 7 on me.
Yeah. Can we shift it to? Can we do 2 near?
Very nice.
Let's look at Murray. You can see people can see got his.
So is this Sean's
Yellow.
first shot here? Looks like it.
Yeah.
So it looks like he's going to try and make a nice little hit and roll here,
Yeah.
because those rocks are staggered at the front, so might be a little bit harder for Leichter to get that out if he makes his perfect roll.
So is this something like this could end up like? Well, we're running out of rocks, but where someone's just like, I'm going to clean that up. bail out? Or are we kind of stuck with there's going to be a score?
At this point where that is, I think it takes 2 rocks to clean it all up, so we might get somebody just scoring 1 point here.
Yeah. Shooter sticks underneath her. I don't know. I can't see it.
Right in this.
Brady Clark is standing. Maybe I could tap on the glass.
So,
oh, look at that.
So
He's
the tick didn't quite work out here, and have a chance to get another guard in play here.
A lot of weight.
Leichter might be able to make the double to sit 3, possibly. Sean didn't quite roll far enough behind those staggered guards, I think.
Line's good.
Again, the people listening are probably mad since we're sitting at an angle, but
yeah.
hopefully that's
well. They can see it better. They can see it better than we can see.
Correct us and let us know what they think should be played
I'm
over
not
there.
Playing with the iPad.
Line'll be good, nice and tight.
Yeah, so what I was wondering is, like, at some point, do you just be like, this is too complex, too risky? I'm just going to clear it out, get something better.
Yeah, I think they might be able to get that double though and sit 3 around that pile. So. Then Sean should be able to have a shot for a double, but then that means Leichter will have a draw for his deuce. So,
so it's sitting good for him.
Yep.
I like that. So Bill Stopera has to jump on and sweep because
Dean's coaching him all the way down, right? Telling him how to sweep like a.
And he says bastard under his.
And let's see. Oh, so close. On those.
That one is a little closer.
Just,
Oh, he did get the double over here.
Oh. See, we're watching 2 different sheets again.
Yeah. Well, we were commenting.
Mark Lazar tried the tick, and the first one was pretty heavy. The second one made a nice adjustment, but Kiovula was able to sweep that to the board, so it goes back. Oh. Skips do sweep ahead of the tee line now. That's probably even a little more than 6 feet. That was a long sweep for him.
Yeah.
Line's pretty good.
Whoa.
Little bit of room. Lots of room.
So they're gonna. So I'm assuming Murray's gonna try to get those 2 red out.
Here. We won't get buried.
Yep. Run his yellow one back in there.
Keep her going. Keep her going. Keep her going. Keep her going.
Draw for 1.
Keep her going.
Where's the curl?
That's fine. Yeah, just a little pop on release.
Oh, so just
didn't quite happen.
Didn't work out, and Leichter does have his draw for 2 here.
I kind of could. He kind of seemed like his body language as it was coming down. I mean, I couldn't see the angle, but he looked at Sean's face. He
didn't quite hit it where he wanted to. I think.
Yeah.
Yep. So that was kind of a battle over there on that end, and.
So let's go back to sheet 5, 5 near. Are you there? I can't see. My eyes are kind of blurry. Thanks, man.
Yep. So
we'll let you know if that draw is successful for 2.
High guard.
Yeah. Kiovula does have one in the rings, putting the guards up. So with Stopera trying the tick twice and just barely missing those,
it's got to be tough to steal 2 against these guys. Although you could probably they're getting tuckered.
I'm not talking about you.
Yep. So I think the team will. In an ideal situation like this, it would be great if they could be sitting 3 and make Tyler have to make the shot against the loss, but they would probably be pretty happy stealing 2 and playing the extra ends as well. So Tyler just wants to make sure he's got a shot to score or hold yellow.
That's good, Jard.
That was a lot of scenarios. I think my coffee's kicking in.
Yeah.
Did you get all that?
That sounds like we're in. You hear that? Who's yelling down there? It sounds like we're in some sort of airport.
Yeah, it's kind of surprising. You can hear.
Can you say
teams speak a lot more than you thought behind the glass. I was surprised this weekend with teams not mic'd and how much you could hear them talking on the ice.
Someone should buy Tyler George some new shoes. Look at his shoes there.
Right? That just, he's dialing his draw weight though. They're working for him.
I was talking about sweeping. Yeah. Well, both of Marks had to go pillar to post. Out of his hand. Still effective. So out of shape.
So sheet 3 is getting a little bit interesting here. Anybody following on there? Craig's got 2 rocks staggered on the center line and 1 in the house. And he's down 1 at this point, so.
Go past it, hopefully. Get past. Yep.
So they're having a team meeting to see where they put this rock here. I think those 2 rocks are probably able to be double peeled.
We'll see if Bill Stopera has enough energy to make this double. Clear out the, after all that sweeping he had to do. I'm guessing it's going to be 7 seconds. I had a lot of heat.
Yeah, well.
7:07.
Shit.
That was his first one. That's not too bad. So he kind of opens up the front, which is ideal. It's kind of a little bit nicer having Tyler look at an open house for his shots.
Yeah, certainly harder to get your 2 at this point.
Yep, so this is where Kiovula is going to be thinking, do you guard one of these, or is it time to... A little bit too early to sit 3 because it gives, again, the wide open house for Stopera to make a hit and roll or a draw for the win. So.
Yeah.
Leichter did make that draw, so he's up 6-4 over Murray.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, good job circling back to that. Got sucked back into sheet 5.
Oh, no, we're on sheet 5. That's fine. I felt bad because I said I was going to give an update on what happened.
Got a bit of room right now.
I only took 3 rocks. They're on the 4th rock in the 7th end.
Line's good. Line's good. Keep her going.
Yeah, it's a situation like this. I just, as a skip, I'm like,
keep it going.
What can I do? I guess that's the only thing is to do that medium level guard.
Yep. Again, it's kind of early in the end, so trying to get something set up here.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I mean, he's just going to run.
So they're going to try trying to do a double.
It, I guess, yeah,
they're going to for sure get the peel, and if he picks that one out in the top 8 foot, that's kind of a bonus.
Ooh, that thing's really moving though.
On the far edge.
That's cool. I love that.
Yep. And he makes it. Great shot.
Beauty.
So that would be a good time to do that redo chip.
Yeah.
Prove it.
Prove it.
That would be a prove it at the Lucas Spiel, folks, to have him make it twice.
Right in front.
The trick of that is setting them up so they're the exact same. So usually you don't get the exact same shot twice.
Jesus.
I always thought it would be kind of cool to do,
Yes, we go
if you could figure out some technology to automatically take a picture, a high-resolution picture of the house after every shot.
Yeah, you still got to set them, though, and the game of inches and angles.
No, I know that. But I just thought it would be kind of cool to be afterwards to be able to review your entire game with a nice graphic.
Oh, the snapshot.
And you would think you could figure it out so that it could be based on sound or something, because there's, well, maybe not.
Well, people, like even with your streaming, you can pause it, right? Take a snapshot.
Just makes them all.
No, we don't allow that. We have all the content copyrighted.
You do? That's great.
We take it down almost immediately. Within 2 years, within 2 years of broadcast, we'll take it down. I took down Dex's last year relatively quickly.
Yeah, that was we appreciate that.
That was salty. I think you guys were at home.
We were at home, yeah. We had a mixed doubles league last year, so we went here Friday night.
Right in front,
had a chance to listen to the web streaming, and
come right to it, you make
very happy you guys came back again this year.
Right?
Yeah, well, I was happy that you allowed us after last year. I actually thought I thought when Sean Murray, who I never knew before, sat down, and he said, "Oh yeah, Maureen asked me if I could sit in," and I was like, "Oh yeah," and then he's like, sounds like, you know, Howard Cosell, and knows everything.
Yeah, he's got a great voice.
And it made me think like, oh, what am I getting replaced?
Shot, Ty.
Yeah, well, you test and learn, right? So.
Yeah, he probably. I would have loved to hear what his inner monologue was, because I mean, that was. You think this is raw and unprepared. Back then, it was like, holy moly.
Right.
Yeah.
I think when I put the headset on, some of the players down there looked up and chuckled a little bit. So hopefully I haven't put my foot in my mouth too much this early morning. And
I've been taking notes. Actually, I've got a couple that I'm going to put together.
We'll see if I get asked again to do this. It's it has been fun, but I feel like I'm waking up a little bit now. So. All right, so see which one Tyler chooses to go after here.
Clean it.
It was going to be a 3.
Clean is one of the best words to hear out there after you've let go of your rock, and just going to walking this down. He doesn't even have to stay.
Good luck.
Thank you. Good game.
Good game by both teams.
So Bill Stopera will move on, and he'll play the winner of Leichter and Murray.
Yep, so they'll get to watch the end of that one and rest a little bit before they're back on at noon.
What time is it now? 11:05.
What time's the next one, Marky?
All right, turn their mics off.
Yeah, so we'll wrap up these games on sheet 2 and 3, or do you guys just cut it after 5?
No, we're going to flip over there. Yeah, we're going to maximize our...
I got to run to the hotel.
All right.
The board kind of reset there.
Oh, okay.
What is going on here? All right. Am I back now? Can you hear me now?
Back on. So
yeah, every once in a while, it's maybe I have a pretty old iPad, and the software that runs the board, which is super cool. I love it. Freezes up every once in a while, which if we were doing some like action-packed thing.
It always freezes at the exact wrong time, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, having the actual controls would be nice. Not having that ice sound. I should just leave that mic down there. Is kind of weird.
Yeah, so I think with Leichter and Murray in the 7th end with 1 end to go, we'll focus here on sheet 3. Trying to see the rocks. Craig's throwing a...
Oh, no, we're doing sheet 3.
Yeah, sheet 3's in the 8th end here.
All right, so sheet 3.
Craig, I don't know if this is his first or second rock since we just jumped over there, but he's throwing... Yellow's got one there in the forefront.
It looks like his first.
His first, so good. We got 4 rocks to go with Clark having hammer up 1.
Yeah, so they need to steal at least 1.
They still got that center guard up, so...
Just clean, 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 clean.
Oh, are you
hard, 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 hard. Go, go.
Yeah,
whoa, off,
really
off,
Craig up here.
Yeah. That's hard work. Actually, you know, we might be able to get somebody to grab one of their mics and just set it outside. Let's see if I can get Rick to do that.
Oh, you can tell what they're saying by their body language.
I know, but I just like the extra sound.
They're looking kind of calm.
Can't just grab one of those wireless mics and then go just set it up. Sure. Just over here, just in the corner, so we can hear some sound.
I haven't really talked very much. It's great.
All right.
All right, so it looks like Brady's going for the one that's in the top 4 foot here.
Yeah, so he'll probably just try to keep it clean.
Yep, and hopefully keep a shooter and make Craig make a nice shot with his last one, and then Craig will hope Brady hits and rolls out to go extra, because they do have... Brown has 2 rocks in the house right now. Looking to steal 1.
So with that win, McCormick is undefeated, right?
McCormick is still undefeated, yep, defending champs. And I believe Brady is also undefeated right now going into this game, and Brown has just the 1 loss. I can't remember who it was against. it was either Leichter or Stopera, since that was the three-way tie in that pool. So Brady rolled a little bit to the outside, so doesn't really have that for a tap back if Craig makes the draw here. The guard's about halfway, so Craig's just debating best placement here to get Brady to chase it.
See, I like that. We ran a mic down there. I just like that kind of air sound.
Oh, yep.
I could just record that and put it on loop.
Perfect.
Yeah. It looks like Smitty is trying to stare down that yellow rock.
Yeah, he's
very intense.
trying to make that go away with his stare down.
Yeah.
No, just kidding.
He's thinking that light speed broom might turn into a lightsaber.
Yeah.
Wow, I wonder where he put that mic. Picked that sound up great.
Yeah.
Sends a stone down.
Sweepers have the broom down. It's got to be in the ballpark here where they want it. Not sweeping really hard, just kind of a heavy clean here. Trying to put it exactly where I think the best chance is to. They're playing for the extra end at this point. So I think Brady will just kind of follow it down, tap it back. Doesn't want to flirt with that guard. Wants to have a little bit of break in the ice there. And
yeah. So why wouldn't he just? Oh, it's his last.
It could. There's a pole there. You probably can't see the halfway guard.
Nope. Yeah. Missed
so
that. Yeah. That's why I was like, what are you talking about?
Helping you out here. So if he throws a little bit more weight for the pick, kind of brings that guard into play more potentially. Or when you throw a little bit more weight, it could run a little bit straight. So this is just, he got a good read from Craig's rock, feeling confident. He'll throw a little bit of weight to tap it behind the tee line, and then his shooter should stay shot. So Craig maybe a little bit deeper than he would have wanted to. By a little bit, that's like probably 4 inches. So yeah, sweepers are calling 6-7. They know they have to tap it just a little bit. It's running a little straight, see if it breaks enough. Just a little bit more weight and didn't catch the break. So we are going to go extra ends here on sheet 3.
Manager over there. All right.
So bonus curling now.
Yeah. So now coming down on, it looks like, Murray did get 2, so now it's tied up coming down into the 8th with Leichter having the hammer on 2 near. Yep, we're there. Yep. Good job. Did you bring me any lunch? So this is pretty tense, both of these. There's a lot on the line. The winner on sheet 2 is going to play Bill Stopera, and the winner on sheet 3 is going to play Keith McCormick.
Yep, and then for this game, there's $600 on the line. So prize money goes from $1,000 to $1,600. Final game, the teams playing in that will be playing for $4,000. And second place will get $2,500. So kind of exciting to know you kind of have that on the line too. And
I wonder how much they actually think about that. Like I could think about, like going from 0 to 1,000. But I think at some point you're like, well, at least I got there. But I don't know if I'd think about 1,000 to 1,600, but I definitely would think of 1,600 to the chance of getting $4 grand.
I think the people behind the glass think about that a lot more once the players are out on the ice, right? They're focusing on making the shots, winning the game, and then that's just a little bit.
It might be a good
extra. It's nice to have, I think, after a weekend curling and away from home.
Although if you knew, like if you're playing a team and you knew that one of the other players might be having some financial problems, you might be able to hold that over them and
taunt them a little bit out there.
Taunt them a little bit.
Curlers are pretty nice. I don't know
how
much taunting there is. I think that's another thing for the St. Paul Cash Spiel with teams that are playing early, trying to give them a little money to pay a couple extra entry fees, pay another event, and help them out a bit.
Yeah, it's unfortunately that they're on the opposite ends. I know some people, when they played an extra end, they'd shoot everything down that way, and then they would, play this way. Which I didn't know why they did that, but someone said it's so that the people at home, behind the glass, can watch it.
Yep, and we chose not to put that in the rules that you have to push them away. Sometimes keep the momentum of the game going, or, if you push all the rocks back, that's an end of rocks going one way.
Yeah, but people have been doing that. We've had a lot.
Weekend.
We've had a lot. Like that 10 end, they pushed it back, and then they flew it this way, and then threw it back.
Yeah, they threw it back, pushing them one more time. Then you're playing on 11, 12 ends of ice. I don't know if I was a team always scoring in the odd ends, I'd want to throw away. But if I was always scoring on the even ends, I'd want to probably push them and throw them back. So.
Oh. Yeah, you might be overthinking that a little bit, but that's what I think.
Analytical chemists overthink things? What are you talking about?
Yeah. I've actually never watched Sean play any extended amount, but he's got quite the set of pipes on him.
Mm.
Try to clear out some cards. Oof.
Oh. It plays a double and kind of spins yellow in.
Yeah.
Looks from here that they're both wide open.
Leaves a shooter right there in the middle.
Yep. Red does have hammer here in the 8, so leaving that guard up top. Sean's just communicating to his team there. Best place to put a second guard.
Yeah, I suppose I was thinking that you could come down and try to tap it to the right a little bit, but then you just set it up to clear it out.
Yeah, I don't think you want to move that guard since both yellow ones are open, and you might have to do a play off those. It's a little too early to come into the ring, so. Looks like the tick was made there on sheet 3.
Brad Clausen said that the evening curlers last night were very generous in the tip jar, so he appreciates that.
Oh, great. Yeah, leagues haven't started here in St. Paul, so it's the first event we're hosting, and great to have so many people help out working the bar and giving up their Saturday so soon in the season.
So on sheet 3 far, Smitty's throwing in a high guard up. It looks like they're going to try to get another guard in place, trailing 1. You need to, oh, actually, it's going in. This angle looks like it's lined up from that on top of that high guard.
Yep.
2 coming down. Hector's throwing some heat, trying to clean up those 2 guards, and he does it successfully.
Makes no mistake on that one and removes both guards.
Yeah, so at what point do you make the decision that, well, yeah, you can't really make a decision like that if you're not throwing the...
Yeah, Sean's trying to steal here with yellow,
Yeah.
so
I was thinking that he might be playing for, like, not giving him anything, but you can't really
yeah,
do
tied
that.
up, coming home, it's...
Yeah. A lot of pressure.
Well, you can try to make him blanket out, go extras, try and set up the steal again.
Yeah, but you couldn't, though, like I was, in my mind, I was like, oh, yeah, you might want to just start, you know, clearing stuff out so there's nothing to play off of, but then just drawing, that's...
Right.
Sunday morning talk.
I thought he was red last time,
Yeah.
so, you know, just
I actually have
trying
a
to watch both these sheets come down to the
pro
wire
tip. I
here.
write that down because I get confused, and
Yeah.
yeah, it seems like that's the right call.
Yep. Selector's going to look if he just has a straight peel or if he tries to get one of those off the 4-foot. But throwing those center guards, it still gives him an opportunity to make a hit and roll for the win. So we're straight draw.
Team Brown's having a little meeting.
So yep.
Freddie Clark's team is hand jiving.
Yeah.
It did kind of look like they were doing that, but I was
Sometimes
born.
you want to know what they're talking about right now. Are they talking, hey, I'm getting hungry, I'm ready for lunch that
Yeah.
just got delivered here? Or,
Ooh, ticks it over.
good enough to remove the center guard? We got the ice makers back at it, getting
Yeah,
4, 5, 6 ready for the semifinals.
We've mic'd Jimmy, so we can hear the shaving, whatever that is.
Yeah.
Nipper, I guess.
Yep, they'll shave before each draw today, so.
I got chastised, not chastised, but I don't really know the difference between a nipper and a shaver just by,
Well, they're kind of sneaky because they can reset one so they can use a shaver for a nipper in these events instead of the one you push in league. So it can do both.
Replaces the guard. So here, sheet 3 far, it looks like Freddie Clark's going to remove that high red guard.
Yep, Brown decided to put another guard up.
Or attempt to say that there's a possibility that it might not happen.
Must be running pretty straight there. Brady called off right away, but made the peel.
So Leichter's coming down, going to take the guard out again. Got a little heat. It looks like it's hugging
Yeah,
the
looks
line.
like he is playing the other turn here.
Yeah.
Art makes no mistake and gets the clean peel.
It's probably pretty interesting if you're like, well, this is the correct move, and you do the correct move 2 or 3 times and it doesn't do anything. You're like, well, I got to do the next move, whatever.
Yep.
There isn't really much you can do.
At this point, Sean's starting to talk. Like, do we put
guess you
that
could-
guard up? When do we come in? At some
Yeah.
point, he's going to probably try to corner freeze on one
Yeah,
of those so
that's what I was
that
thinking.
Leichter won't be able to have a way to get to the 4-foot for shot.
So on 2 far here, or 3 far, looks like Brown is he's going to try to draw
Throwing
in.
another. Is this Brown's? This must be his first because Brady's third just threw. So he's trying to come
heavy
around that one already
to me.
instead of one guard. So
he throws
that
it through.
decides to slide. He puts his hands up. Not sure why that one didn't catch the curl. So now Brady will probably clean this house up a little bit more for him, so that Craig can't hide one on his second one.
This is whatever you like, right? They're both fine.
At this point, Brady wants to hit this and roll out. Don't give anything for Craig to hide behind.
So this is this Sean's first rock on sheet 2?
I believe so. It looks like there's a yellow one hiding over in that pile of reds on.
Looks like he's going to do another guard, I think.
Play a guard and see if Leichter decides to peel that or make a move on those rocks in the 4-foot.
Sheet 3, Brady Clark delivers his rock, which is a takeout, clearing up the rock on the top of the house there.
Yep.
Cleanly.
Yep, so
Sean Murray's team's using the force. I had noticed they had the hand up on the rock.
oh, it looks like Sean decides to come a little bit deeper here
Yeah.
than a guard. Not thinking he didn't want to come that deep by his facial reaction.
Yeah. So they, is there a double there?
Yeah, there must be a double. He must be playing that double there. Then Sean will decide to drive around that one in the top 8, maybe. Hit and roll behind it. And Leichter will probably get the, have to choose between the double or the draw of the 4-foot. So he might just be trying to hit and roll on top too and not double it out, because that might be a little bit better shot there.
So it looks like Brown's going to try to take out. There's a yellow in the back of the house. Those aren't always givens that far out.
So he's gonna lay 2 here and see if Brady makes a hit and roll or the straight draw to the 8-foot for the win. So he did roll. I can't see exactly where that rock rolled.
Did not get the double. Hit and rolled out a little bit.
All right, and then Brady's gonna throw the draw for the win here.
Yeah, he's got backing too. That's in league. It's always like, oh, you got backing.
Yeah, backing. Obviously, haven't watched the sheet enough though to add a little bit, and that backing seems to disappear quite quickly.
Yeah.
So.
Inch left.
So he is tightening it up to make sure he does have the full 8-foot to draw to. So this will be important once he lets go for the sweepers to judge that. They've been throwing lots of peels and hits. I don't know if Brady's team's thrown a draw for a while. So the team's just talking what Brady needs to throw to make this
Craig
draw.
Brown just threw one through that he was. So maybe
that was a different path. So this is the other turn. So we got brooms down cleaning it. They'll have to talk to the third on where it is. Looking up, so it looks like they're looking for the backing or they're overcurled it.
Yeah, it's got some heat. Looks like Smitty's sweeping it.
Oh, yeah, didn't have the backing, and Craig Brown gets the win.
Wow. All right, so one last game here. So Craig Brown will play Heath McCormick at noon.
I believe that was the final last year they played each other. Craig was supporting his wife running the Twin Cities Marathon, and Croy was skipping last year. So rematch of the final from last year in the semifinal.
So sheet 2, trying to figure out the, boy, you hit our mic out there. That'd be funny if you heard just like a click. So they're discussing options here. I think if this were me, which, and you now, once I tell you what I would do, you can tell me why that would work. I would draw over on the outturn side, try to get underneath that guard, high at top 4.
Got to reset what's going on here from the other one. So yeah, Murray's trying to steal.
Yep.
If he taps that back, I think was that right?
Tap.
You could play the tap, because then Leichter has to make a hit and roll.
The guy in the hat
that
knows
one on
exactly.
the edge of the forefoot.
He knows what's going on. That's what he should do.
Right
there.
If he just draws right there, you don't want to set up a triple, but still I think having the team throw a triple against you.
Yeah,
isn't
it's
too bad,
unfortunate
since
that other red is there. If that,
yeah, that other red's there.
Yeah.
So it doesn't
I wonder if you could, like, if you knew what you were doing, I wonder if you could hit that and roll to that spot.
Yep. For sure, Murray wants to sit 2 after this so that Leichter doesn't, they're sitting second shot, so Leichter would be able to hit that one out in the forefoot, doesn't have to keep a shooter for the win. So Sean's trying to make sure.
So he's going to come on this side.
He can draw around and sit 2 to force Leichter to have to hit and stay, or possibly get the inside roll for the win. I would walk over there, but we're not cordless, so.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
So awesome setup.
Well, the window is opening above us.
Like, who's flying a droid around?
Yeah, a droid. Drone.
Or drone.
Drone, yeah. You gotta go.
Do you leave this guard at this point? Is he gonna get a little bounce to? All right, so Leichter's probably gonna play a double here. The way those rocks set. He doesn't have to keep the shooter since he is sitting 3rd count if he makes a double. I think Team Murray just got kind of caught in between there. Do you leave it higher, or can you bring it in just a little bit more to make that double harder?
Yeah, it would have been nice if it, to me, in my opinion, if it came in a little bit more.
Yep, because then they got to flirt with that one in the bite in the top 12 there. So it's hard to see from here if he's got the whole rock, or how close he has to come to that one in the top house.
You could cut to the tension with a knife.
Yep, pretty quiet out there. Won't be a blank, that's for sure.
Sweepers are holding off, so now they jump on.
Oh, doesn't seem like, is it going to curl enough?
No.
Just gets the one, and Murray for the win. Team Murray was holding their breath that whole time.
Wow. Well played.
And I guess they, yeah, in the right spot.
Well, Maureen, thanks for joining us here up in the broadcast booth. You did a great job. You obviously know what you're talking about. And yeah, thanks for sticking out to the final. So
yeah, you're welcome. Thank
you
so much
for having
me.
We'll be back on with noon. At noon, we'll have, we'll be covering, can't remember the women's match.
I think it's Bear and Farrell.
Yeah, Bear and Farrell. So we're going to have two women's matches and 2 men's matches. So a lot of good curling coming on around noon. So check back then.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, cheers.